for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. What? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sweet 16 Feel Good Friday, March 27, 2026. This program begins now. Sports are the absolute greatest, and we're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them every single day. The Sweet 16 is happening tonight, and yes, last night was the Sweet 16 as well as the Big Ten prevailed in a big way as Iowa, Nebraska, Purdue, Texas stole the show. Then Illinois. The Big Itches from Illinois are certainly a team that is maybe ready to do battle, but can anybody keep up with Arizona? We shall see. Today, Sweet 16 Friday, the games will be just as late as they were last night.
Jeez Louise.
St. John's and Duke, hell yeah. Alabama, Michigan, something going on with Alabama. There's been a release of a thing in a trial system. Mm-hmm. Their second leading scorer potentially playing, right? Is that how this whole thing's going?
He's going to be there for sure. Travel. Yeah, I think he can travel, but he was listed as out already, so I don't know if they can change that.
Judge Joanne Janik this morning has granted Aiden Holloway's request to travel out of state. Big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal, because obviously that means couldn't have been, right, if we're letting him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good news. Hopefully this is just a little bit of a speed bump in a life that is off and running in a big way. But also for Alabama, maybe best team is showing against Michigan, who's obviously ready to do battle. Michigan State taking on UConn. Dan Hurley, we know he's ready to go.
Yeah.
We know he's ready to go. He used to be fat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No longer fat because he doesn't eat. All he does is shove basketball down his gullet, as does Tom Izzo, which should make that a fantastic battle. And then Tennessee and Iowa State will do battle as the SEC and the Big 12 represent on this Sweet 16 Friday. We have a great program today. I cannot say that enough. We got Coach Krzyzewski joining us.
Hell yeah.
We caught up with Coach McCollum earlier today of Iowa, fresh off a massive dub over Nebraska last night. Let's go to the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. There's some magical moments in March, and it feels like one of them that we're living is you having the time of your life with this Iowa Hawkeyes basketball team.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we kind of talked about it back when Ben McCollum got hired. I was very excited. This is the most invested I've been in an Iowa game or an Iowa season in a really long time. But at this point, it's just like Iowa's not exactly a Cinderella, but like I get to play that role right now. Like everything at this point is kind of just house money. Last night was the biggest Iowa basketball, maybe biggest Iowa win of my lifetime, regardless of sport. And so just the opportunity to be able to watch them go another week, another game, like it's the best. I'm loving it.
Nebraska had never gotten to this far, right?
Correct.
And Iowa hadn't been here since, 1987 or something? I was born in 1987. That was a long time ago. That's like wake up in the morning, back sore amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, that's like hangovers like 3-4 days. That's where I'm at right now in life. That's how long it's been since Iowa has reached the Elite Eight. And that's, the videos coming out of Iowa, they're celebrating as such. We like that. We like everything that brings people together and have a good time. Sports certainly doing that. Shout out to March Madness. And shout out to Coach McCollum joining us. And I'll tell you what, local Indianapolis kid, Lawrence kid, right near here, this kid, playing for Illinois last night. Great hair. Great hair.
Davis.
Late games, Illinois and Arizona just kind of did their thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just kind of what it was. The Purdue-Texas game and Iowa-Nebraska game, obviously nail-biters going on at the same time. Fascinating. YouTube TV, you can split them, but it's almost smaller when it's 2 than it is with 4. Kind of a lot of blank screen. So the late games, Illinois-Arizona did their stuff. Arizona might be the best team of all time. Who knows with the way they're playing, how big they are, how old they are, how talented they are. And Purdue, obviously, Painter's on a run right now with a squad that's all the way bought in. College basketball has been showing up. Hated the scheduling last night, but enjoyed the madness as we continue to roll through. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Tone, what's betting going on? Because I'll tell you, I ran out of money yesterday before I even got a chance to get to Sweet 16.
That'll happen.
Yeah, had to get in, log in, and it gave me the video.
Yeah.
Telling me, hey,
Oh, no.
Again.
let's shut this thing down. Year, 8 years, 10 years. How long do you want to kind of maybe think about this whole thing? You want to call your friends. You want to call our friends. Do you need something going on? It's a full play on there before I get in there. I go, oh, yeah, I know I lost a lot there, but I'll pass for now. Let me get back in there. And I looked. I didn't have a single crown. The crown was not mine one time.
No crowns?
I've been all over the world. Looking for this crown. I was in darts yesterday.
It's elusive.
Well,
I was in darts yesterday, and I was told this was a surefire thing. Don't worry about it. The gout guy is back on the dartboard, and he's looking for an absolutely dominant performance against who? Johnny Rock?
Josh Rock, okay. And it turns out the gout guy needs his gout. It's cured, and now he's not winning.
But this is where I'm at right now. I'm betting on a gout guy in darts in Munich for a league that's based out of England right now. And I'm not betting on a guy named Luke Littler, who's been winning since I've known he's existed. And from the very beginning, he's only been motivated by a couple things.
Yeah, vapes, kebabs, and maybe a Coke from time to time.
He's that guy's a sure thing. Didn't bet on him because I heard about Gout Guy beating the hell out of this Rock guy. That's where I'm at right now, looking for the crown. Can you tell me some things about these Sweet 16 lines that I might look at that might, maybe I find a crown tonight if I deposit more money.
In your defense, Johnny Clayton was at top of the Premier League table. Okay, he's leading the Premier League or was leading the Premier League before yesterday. And then Josh Rock had never won a match in his life. So that's just where you're at right now trying to find the crown. Sweet 16 last night. As far as the tournament,
never won a match in his life.
Nope, that was his first Premier League win.
First year on the tour, and the lad just had no luck.
He was 0-7.
Okay, let's get away. I'm not doing it. I'm done with darts.
0-7 coming in last night versus a guy who was leading the Premier League table. Going into the last,
maybe these darts guys aren't as locked in as we need them to be whenever we're potentially looking for a crown on their.
Maybe someone got to John Clayton.
How many 180 did Gout Guy have? 180, for those who don't know, certainly don't. You certainly have no idea what we're talking about right now. There's a premier dart league that is electrifying. Okay, and these are pretty out of shape guys. I mean, there's not really
More out of shape, the better.
Bunting's looking better.
I don't think so. I honestly,
Littler's jacked. He's really went to work on his body.
Strong.
These guys are not professional athletes, and it's obvious. But boy, they get an entrance as if they are gods.
Yeah.
Okay, which
They are.
son of them exactly. And what's
There he is.
I'm bulletproof.
Bunting right there, actually, in the
Nothing
background.
new. Yeah, so the guy in the background there, not the one in front that kind of looks like maybe athlete. The one in the back that you're talking about is the one that gets the best entrance. I think.
Bunting the bullet.
Then all this thing. That is that's triple 20 there. Okay, so that's worth 60 points. If all three of your darts go into the triple 20, that's a 180. That's what we're looking for whenever we're trying to count down from 501 to 0, whatever the hell it is, and 301, whatever it is. Is it 501?
501, yep.
501 down to 0. It is electrifying, but I'll tell you what. I'm starting to think these guys might not be reliable.
Whoa.
These guys might not be consistent. I'm starting to think there's decisions being made around darts
Oh, certainly.
for the darters
That's what makes
that can lead
That's
them
bull.
to not being that consistent.
That's bull.
I'm not
Gone
seeing a
too
lot of
far.
discipline. I'm not seeing a lot of anything really. Whatever. I'm
on.
looking at these guys that I'm now putting money on because this guy's at the top of the table. This lad can really fucking spin a dart if he needs to. That is what I'm being told. And then all of a sudden I watch a guy can barely go get his own darts out of the board. Oh, that's Gout Guy. He destroys somebody. He can barely stand up. So now he's super healthy at the top of the table, taking on a guy that's never won before. And this guy, naturally, because he's a darter, goes, just have me compobs in face. I want it. Doesn't even focus on the thing, gets slaughtered. We can't rely on these darters, is what I'm starting to think about. Now, on that note, tell me about these 18 to 27-year-olds that I've never met before
Bingo.
that are playing in this Sweet 16, because we need to get back. I need to find a crown somewhere, somehow. Into the darters, in the dart community, congratulations on creating something electric.
Yeah.
Good on you, lads.
Couple
Good on
big
you, lads.
fish.
Feels like you guys are just stealing songs, and I love it. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, you got walk-ups.
It's a walk, exactly. And
Like baseball.
Exactly. And it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They really are doing it
the
well.
show.
But I would like these guys to maybe be a little bit more locked in their day-to-day so that these darts maybe 180. A little bit more. On that note, we need to find a crown, 10. What should we be looking at?
Okay, so the story of the tournament coming out of the first weekend was the favorites dominated against the spread and straight up. They just absolutely dominated. So going into last night, we thought, would that be the same situation? It was not. The favorites were 1-3 against the spread last night. Arizona being the only favorite to cover, and then they were 2-2 straight up. The only favorites that won were Arizona and then Purdue, and Purdue was in a close one. The Dogs, Iowa, and Illinois took care of business there. So are we going to see similar things tonight as the Dogs? Are the Dogs going to rule the Sweet 16 is the question of tonight. The Dogs tonight would be St. John's, Bama, Michigan State, and Tennessee. A lot of people love the Johnnies. Michigan is a large spread. That's the largest spread of the Sweet 16 weekend. And with the news coming out of Bama, we will see in that situation there. And then Michigan State, UConn, Tennessee, and Iowa State are closer spreads, more similar to what we saw last night out of the few games.
Excited to watch, excited to win. Stanford Steve's hot right now.
He is, yeah.
His parlay that he was promoting did hit. Congrats, Otter guy.
Had a baby, baby.
We appreciate you seeing the board. That's great news. And, in a week of sports, there's always great highlights, like the other guy here, cashing in, finding a crown. It's not easy to find a crown, especially with that guy's.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Big crime.
Agreed.
Big crown. He looked good yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We were saying that's his
Unbelievable.
best performance he's had on the show.
Okay, so you guys judge quality as what you're saying, like coming out of his mouth was
Yes.
good as well?
Yeah.
So I don't even think about it. I just think good conversation, however the conversation, I'm not even judging it. I strictly go by, I'm going off how he looked. He was glowing.
He looked phenomenal.
Was he not?
Is
He
he,
was-
on the
shining.
road? Is he on the road last now that game day's over?
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was on the road 162 of 181
Oh,
days.
yeah, and Monday Night Football, too.
Yeah, during the football season. And while he was traveling, he's also like swimming like 6 miles in the morning in these pools. I'm like, Steve, I don't know how you're doing it. He was old school professional wrestler on the road. I mean, he was working 4 gigs a night in a different town, each one of them.
Beast.
He was really special. But I thought he did really good on the program. I thought he looked good too. So we were certainly happy for him, especially because he's winning. Those are highlights of the week. And there's plenty of them last night. Getting to the line, boom, bang, boom, pow, how you doing? But also in sports, there's some embarrassing happenings.
Yep.
There's some things that make you go, oh, Oh, no! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Oh No's of the week. You'll know them when you see them, because when you're watching them, you go, oh, no! For instance, let's head to baseball, shall we, with, oh, no! Cruz! He's in the outfield. He's a shortstop. Has played center field before. Fuck it. Ball just goes over his head. Bases loaded in the first inning. Paul Skeens pitching. His ERA for the season is 67.5 or something like that because, oh, no. Cruz is in the outfield and he has no idea what he's doing in baseball. What are we doing? A Savannah banana trick potentially happening to the fun-loving, inflatable whaley peoples? That was outrageous. And as you're watching it, not only are we saying it, but Paul Skeens is going, oh, no! Oh, he's not done. Let me get in a batter's box. Let me see what I can do. 2 strikes on the board. Bang! Whoop. 3rd strike out and try to kill a kid with a bat. I mean, that is the trifecta of, oh, no! For O'Neal Cruz. Hey, O'Neal. It's going to get better.
Bounce back.
It can't get worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's head down to the Tampa Bay Rays catcher's groin. Yes. This man, Nick Fortes, is in to catch a baseball from Jax. Not looking, it's a ball. It's a balls, actually. It's not just a ball, it is a balls.
Nightmare.
Actually, they went to the ABS, it came back pure balls on that particular pitch, and all it makes you think is, no. All right, let's hop on the train away from baseball, because they're not the only one. Let's go on the, train to hockey.
What?
Yeah, let's go to the first inning, shall we? Our first period, sorry. I'm at baseball in the mind. First period. Chicago Blackhawks goalie Spencer Knight got dangles. I got it. Nope. Turnover. Immediate goal from Alex Bump. That's 48 seconds into the game. Tough way to start. Congratulations to the Flyers taking advantage of old Cuzzy in the net. Oh, no. It's not just goalies doing oh-no's. It's also people trying to score goals against the goalie in hockey saying, no. Last night, Columbus, who's in a battle right now with the Pittsburgh Penguins, has a sinner on the doorstep, Mason Marshman. Oh, no. That was tough. I couldn't even imagine how that feels. Actually, I have before because I have done it in a different sport, which makes me say, let's hop on the train to soccer. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Croatia. He's playing Colombia in an international friendly, getting warmed up for the World Cup. Croatia, Colombia, tied at 1-1, 28 minutes into the game. Nice pass. He's onside. Good timing. Bia, no, selfless.
Nice.
Suarez, Wifsky. Oh, no! Croatia will go on to win. 2-1.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. Yeah, 2-1. In the old days, we'd be worried.
Yeah.
Even though it's international friendly. Now we know they're just getting ready.
Yeah.
And that won't ever happen to Suarez. He'll never have to say, oh, no! That's when we had the college hoops, and this one's not on the court. This one's in the stands. And this one is incredibly jacked. Hate to say it to Big Lair. Oh, no! Florida loses. Then he says, I still got tickets. I'm going to pull for the Nebraska Cornhuskers to take out Iowa. And then last night, we all know what happens. Big Lair shows up in your jersey. Oh, no! All right, that's the oh-no's of the week. We certainly appreciate all the athletes going out there and putting themselves in positions to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a part of doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So whenever we're calling you out, we're not saying that you should be embarrassed. We're just saying, hey, this happens to everybody in every sport. Whenever you are maybe in a fishbowl and you got a lot of eyes on you, if you don't perform your absolute best, especially in the world that we're in right now, you're going to provide the internet with a lot of opportunities. Nowadays, they're going to take it.
Oh, they should.
And I think the modern athlete and modern person, Big Lair,
Yeah.
understands that. So whenever we say, oh, no, so let's make fun of you.
No.
It's not saying we've all been through a couple moments.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I think you guys did miss one from the week. That was a massive no.
Oh, Foxy from the back room.
Yeah, it's our good friend Dan Orlovsky. He's a meme now.
Foxy. Oh, no, we said we're not going to do this. We all agree. I guess Foxy said it has to happen.
I mean, that's a hilarious tweet. What big golf tournaments has Scotty Scheffler won?
But that was the only
Orlovsky.
one. Right?
I mean, Dan, no, does roll off the
I know,
tongue.
and we have, Dahn, before.
Yeah, we're not done, though. Here's another one.
No, Foxy! Dan,
Sorry, Dan.
Dan, What big wars did Julius Caesar even fight?
Oh,
that's really deep. Caesar salad, cesarean section, and wars, obviously.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, the whole
we
thing.
could go even deeper if you guys want to. Bam!
No. This was I did see this one floating around here.
That was going to hurt for him.
And I thought to myself, that one's definitely going to get into Dan's algo. That one's going to make him not be happy about it.
Bingo.
Yeah, so Dano, we want to say, no.
We love you, Dan.
And that was Foxy.
Yeah, I left Pat on the screen the whole time there. That was mean. I shouldn't have left you on the screen there. That was on me.
I said, no, we're not doing it today.
I said, no, Dano.
Okay, on that note, Dano, we love you, man. We appreciate the hell out of you. Let's get to our conversation from earlier today with the story potentially coming out of night one of Sweet 16. This D2 sensation that is now the head coach of the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team, who is now in the Elite Eight for the first time since 1987. As a program, we've caught up with Ben McCollum today. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off a Sweet 16 sweet victory for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who are headed to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1987. Holy shit, Coach McCollum. How are you, man?
I'm great, man. How about yourself?
Dude, we're fantastic. What a game, first of all. I thought the way you and Nebraska battled last night was spectacular for college hoops, obviously with Nebraska coming out early and dominating. And then we see a video of you going like, we're sleepwalking out here. It seems like, how much of that is everyday stuff or in the moment? Are you thinking like, I'm tired of looking at this? Like, how do we get to that exact moment? And is this how you coach all the time? Is this what we should expect from the, former D2 national champion? Is this what we should expect from you? Because it is spectacular television, sir.
And it's not an attempt to be spectacular television. I was coached by a guy by the name of Steve Tapmeyer in Division II, and it was probably more old school coaching. I felt like I could be similar to that, but slightly different. I think with kids nowadays, you do have to have more of a relationship with them to where, like when I grew up, it was you just respected your coach and you'd play for him. Now you have to respect him and like him. So the ability to coach guys hard, you have to have that relationship before you can. I don't just go in and start screaming at people, but we have a relationship. I always tell them the truth. You're brutally honest with them, and sometimes they can come back at me with the same intensity, and we're trying to find solutions in the moment. And that's a pretty consistent thing if they're not ready to go. But if they're ready to go, then you don't really need to do that. I don't know what my message was there. Somebody sent me it. I'm like, man, I can't look any dumber than that.
Hey, it worked. It worked. Yeah. Coach, you won. Now, if you lose, coming out of that timeout, you got 4 guys on the court or something like that, then you look like an out. How about that? Yeah. That was a wild scene, wasn't it? Have you ever seen anything like that? And are you trying to not alarm anybody, but also, hey, boys, we understand what's going on here? How do you kind of react in that situation, especially with how big the entire moment is, obviously?
I'm going to be honest, I had no idea. I mean, Bennett and then Alvaro and Kale knew. So we had 3 guys, the inbounder, Bennett knew, and then Al knew, the guy that made the layup. And so I was like, why is he so open? I mean, I didn't think I drew up something that good that he could just be open to start. And so Kale saw it, and they threw it deep, and he made it. And then afterwards, I'm like, how was he? I asked my staff, I go, why was he so open? And they're like, they only had 4 guys. I said, well, it's a heck of a deal for us. So that certainly helped us to pull away from him.
Tell me about the message to the team afterwards. I just mentioned it, and obviously Ty has a litany of questions and remarks for you because he is riding so high at this moment. There's a bunch of stats coming out about Iowa Hawkeyes basketball and how many tournament wins and how many you've brought already in your quick time. And I know you're Iowa guy, obviously didn't go to Iowa, played at Northwest Missouri, but you are from Iowa. And I believe, Ty has told me this, that you have said like the Hawkeyes job is like, yeah, I'm like very proud to be here. So this all has to be a pretty, huge moment, not only for the state, for the team, but also for you, I'd assume. How do you manage that? And what is your messaging to the boys afterwards whenever you're kind of changing the way Iowa Hawkeyes men's basketball fans are kind of living this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, we just tell them we're on to the next. I remember in 2017, we won the national championship, and I thought it was going to be like this wow moment. And it is for about 10 seconds. And then you realize, man, this is what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it should. I mean, it's the kind of the memories that you make throughout the season. So for us, it's on to the next game, and we still have business and need to try to get to that Final Four.
We can't wait to watch it all. I love the messaging. And as you were speaking over there, Ty, who had 45 Jack and Cokes last night celebrating. He was just nodding his head like this.
He didn't have any Busch. I thought he was from Iowa. He didn't have Busch Light.
Well, liquor before beer, and you're in the clear. So,
sir.
Yeah,
you know that. Go ahead, Ty.
Coach. Yeah, no. Pat mentioned it, and I have no problem saying. I can't remember. I am so emotional. I was crying last night after the game, just because it's like when you got hired, everyone in the state was so excited, but you still. What limits are in place at Iowa with basketball. And, man, in terms of just everything I've experienced in my sporting life, my entire family, my brother's talking about it. Like, last night was one of the best nights of my life. No bullshit. Cannot wait for the next one. So,
hey, that's awesome.
First and foremost,
hey, thank you for delivering that to our boy.
Thank you for that. But I am curious, what was the message at halftime? Obviously, Tate Sage hits that huge 3 to kind of give you guys momentum going in, and the rebounding woes that were kind of there early, like those completely dissipated, and you guys you were making shots, but you looked like a different team in the second half. What did you tell the guys to kind of get them back on track? Because Nebraska was shooting lights out, and it was one of those things where if we weren't responding, there was a chance that they were kind of just going to run away with that one.
I mean, I thought they were dictating what we were doing. I thought they imposed their will on us, meaning when they came down offensively, we were chasing, trying to predict what they were doing rather than telling them what they're going to do. And so at halftime, it was more just, hey, we've went over this. We understand the scout. It was simple mistakes that we typically don't make. And we made a ton of them. Now, fortunately, we spent about 3 days working on our offense, making sure we could score on them because we couldn't score on them the last few times. So that was dialed in, but, I won't make that mistake again. We need to make sure we work on both sides of the ball.
What a win.
It worked.
Unbelievable.
I mean, what a ride. I had a March Madness feeling on a Thursday night, that is a beautiful thing. And you didn't even get a chance to see the Purdue-Texas game that was happening right alongside of it. I mean, last night was great for college hoops. And I don't know what the ratings are going to be, but I assume it's going to be ridiculous. Your teams are fun, Coach. Your teams are very fun. Now, you're also very new. You're an old school guy. Mm-hmm. You're new to our world. Obviously, you've been coaching in basketball world for a long time, but new to the national scene, we'll say. Your team's having great success.
Yep.
Seems like it doesn't have, all the notoriety everywhere else. And you're a Big Ten team. It's starting to draw some comparisons. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you're a coach, and sometimes coaches just live in a bubble and have no idea what's going on in the outside world. So just letting you know that before I ask. But the internet is comparing you to Coach Signetti of IU football and, his run of going from smaller schools and winning, getting to IU and immediately having immediate success on the greatest stage. I'm not sure if you've seen those comparisons on the internet, but it is a huge compliment. Just want to know if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, probably a huge compliment. I don't really pay attention. I think the second you start to read clippings about yourself, you're going to have issues. Yeah, I mean, if I can win to the level that he's won at the Division I level, I mean, that's a heck of a deal. I'm more of a Kirk Ferentz fan, though.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, good answer. Good
I'd
answer.
probably rather
Longest
be
tenured
compared
coach.
to him. No offense to Cignetti. He's obviously a fantastic coach, but
I don't want to get into what you just said right there. I don't want to do this, okay? I don't want to do this. Me and Dan Orlovsky had a moment the other day. I'm not doing it again. Coach, congrats on a huge win in the Sweet 16 and the Big Ten proud. You know, a lot of great Big Ten basketball going on right now in this tournament. And then obviously with football, you guys feel it, right? I think we talked about this last time. Last night was a Big Ten showcase there in that first game, and it was obviously going the way it was going. Best league in the country. Has it prepared you think, for this tournament? And how do you feel kind of going into the Elite Eight now? What all do you kind of scout? Are you doing a lot of self-scout right now before it all gets figured? Like, how do you kind of go ahead with the team at this exact point?
yeah, we do a lot of scouting them. So like last night, I downloaded all the Illinois clips from however many games, and then watched it throughout the night. Watched it this morning up to this point, and you just try to figure out exactly what you can do to be able to punish some things. And not a lot of self-scout right now. We just need to make sure that we're dialed in and play better defense than we did last game.
Those itches are crazy. Mm-hmm. There's an itch here. There's an itch here. And those itches seemingly are everywhere. And they got an Indiana kid from like right here, the kid with the ponytail.
Oh yeah,
he's from right here.
Gabe Davis. He's a good player. He's a good shooter. He's really good, tough kid.
Yeah, I'm happy he got out of Indiana. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. I was watching their entire team last night because obviously Houston talks about how physical they are and everything like that. They weren't rattled at all. The Big Ten last night, it was a showcase. It was a Big Ten showcase last night, actually.
Yeah, it is tonight too because Michigan State and Michigan are playing. So
yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Greg Sankey's down there right now at the SEC microphone going, "We got teams. We got teams down here. Sure. They are on their way." Petitti's saying, "Where are they?" And. Fascinating times. Big Ten's lucky to have you, Coach. Legit. Very, very, very lucky to have you. It has been very cool to get to know your story. They've been telling it very well. I know you're not listening to your press clippings. They're talking about you being maybe the greatest of all time in D2. You could have won 4, I believe. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Coach, you should have won 4 if it wasn't for that thing in 2020. But
we won 4. We won
4 straight.
4 straight.
Sorry, 4 straight.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that is in the past now. Let's talk about right now. Your team is clearly very gritty. It's fun to watch because it's basketball, but you're damn near playing football out there because of how tough your guys are. Tate Sage, Ty mentioned it. After you chewed the entire team out, or at least in that little timeout, Tate Sage went on to have 11 points, couple boards just in the first half after that. How do you know when you're recruiting a guy, or if you're just getting to know a player, whether they can take a Ben McCollum ass chewing? Because clearly it does really kind of get to you, especially when you're a fiery guy. I could see some of those kids kind of going into themselves maybe, especially in today's day and age. But how do you know whether a player can play now an Iowa brand of basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, that's what we try to evaluate first is, parents, I guess the parents that they were raised by. And then just the feel when you get to know them and to meet them. We do love them just as much as we come at them with that same intensity, meaning we love them just the same, and we come at them with that same amount of intensity on that end of the spectrum too. But yeah, it does take a certain kind of guy. I mean, I grew up in small town Iowa. I'm naturally just love toughness, love grit, love effort, love energy, and I want my team to do the same thing. So that's probably the number one thing that we evaluate. I think the kids that can't handle it a lot of times are probably, we've said this before in other interviews, is moody kids. I just can't do moods. If you're up and down, you're not like, you don't have to be excited about life every day, but you got to be ready to go. And the guys that come in, it's like, woe is me. It doesn't usually work for me. And so we try to find those ones, and those kids want to be coached hard. Like those kids and their parents want them to be coached hard. That's the other thing that we don't realize is I've got really good parents. Those parents allow that, and they don't have any really control over it, but they have my back in those situations. Like, well, coach told you to do that. You should probably do that, rather than,
hey, we can get out of here. Coach is being mean to my kid. Yeah, I can see that. Especially the people around college athlete right now, very important. Very important. I mean, there's deals happening at other schools by people in the circle where the player doesn't even know it's happening, and it's probably obviously very illegal. Parents potentially hearing some things, hearing how you're talking to their kid. Let's move on. I think what you just said there is a good observation, but also something that isn't talked about enough probably in this entire thing.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, your circle and who you go, because there's going to be times when it's like, a kid's going to sit there and say, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I like this. And probably Bennett Search did his freshman year. But, he calls dad, and dad says, and mom says, okay, well, go ahead and tough it out, boss, because you ain't going anywhere. And that's a good message for parents to give their kids. But that's also why kids need to choose the right program for the people that are coaching them, so that they can trust those people, rather than getting sold on either NIL or whatever it may be. Because ultimately, it's still about trying to become the best human that you can be. Now, I know there's an NIL component and there is a money component, and there's something to that. But if you can add the fact that, hey, we want to go to a place that's going to make me a better man first, money second, a lot of times then you can coach those kids with that kind of intensity.
Iowa hoops, man. Ty just dropped a tear right there. Ty said, damn, that.
Ty's my guy now.
Yeah, Starts said a hilarious quote here. He slammed his whiteboard and broke his marker on the floor. Ink went everywhere. He was just telling us we sucked and we were soft. You got to earn that relationship with the boys, though. Like, you got to earn that relationship. Right. Like, I don't want to compare our lives because I'm not coaching people, but obviously, like, having the conversations with people here that I don't want to say I employ.
You can say you employ.
Yeah, but it is a weird way to describe the relationship, though. But it is like you have to earn these things. Like, you can't just say, like, hey, you're fucking up. Like, you have to, and how you approach people. I'm not the greatest with some is good. And that mood thing, hilarious, what you just said there. It's like, I think delivering a message from a leadership position can be done in many different ways. But it feels like there's been one way throughout the entire history, basically, of sports that has worked. Every time.
Yes.
Yep.
It does feel like there has been a particular blueprint that is since the beginning of time, I think, that kind of through it all. Accountability is a massive piece of that. I love that you are looking for that first, seemingly, before everything else, Ben. The more I learn about you, the more I like. Now, I do have to ask it. Can we grow that out? Can you grow that entire thing out? Can we get that?
All the way down, all the way. I used to have a full head of hair. But you're talking about my hair, growing that out?
Hulk Hogan style. Yeah, what Hulk did. You know what Hulk had with that thing?
Party in the back.
Oh,
absolutely.
If you win it all, I think this is something you should commit to. I think this is something you should.
Well, you have to talk to my wife. Fortunately, I've been married for quite a while, so I don't need to look great anyway.
Everything you're doing is working, brother. You just keep doing it. But if you do want to start a playoff beard or something with that hair, we would be supportive. I just want to let you know.
Thank you for being supportive. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I'm sure you would be.
Coach, you're the man. Thank you for allowing us the conversation. Congratulations on the big win. I think Ty has one last question for you about life as an Iowa Hawkeye basketball fan.
Yeah, Coach, obviously everyone's going to talk about Bennett Sturts and Big Al, and rightfully so because they've been so good. But, like, do you have premonitions almost going into games thinking, like, hey, I don't know why, but I think this guy's going to have a big night tonight? Like, Tate Sage in the first two Nebraska games played 15 minutes total, had 2 points, 3 rebounds. Last night, he plays 29 minutes, has 19 points and 8 boards. Tavian Banks obviously was huge against Florida and not so much last night. Like, is that all just in the feel of the game, or do you ever going into a game feel like, you know what, he may have not played a bunch last game or whatever the case may be, but I feel like he's going to have a huge night tonight and we're going to need to rely on him to win?
Yeah, with this team, it's more feel and matchups. Usually you kind of have an idea. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Bennett's going to play, well, pretty consistently when we go into the game. And so then it's just, okay, what's the matchup say to do? Who's completely ready to go? Because we're a group that has to be at 100%. Like, if we're at 97 and say, hey, we want to play at 97% and run at 97%, it's just not going to work for our group. So I got to have dudes that are out there at 100, and we have a lot of dudes that like that. We have a lot of dudes that like, they like to fight, not actually fight, but they like to fight in the games. And so we just got to figure out which ones are there.
Good luck. Why not Iowa?
Why not?
I don't know if Ty's liver can handle it.
Oh, it certainly can. I got 3 more games in me, without a doubt.
No problem, Coach.
Yeah.
He's been training his whole life for
No
that.
problem.
Ty going to come back to Brothers if we make the Final Four? Is it Brothers or
No, you guys are coming to Indy.
Indy?
I'll be boots on the hardwood if you guys make it here.
I think you're just talking about after the winter. You're gonna go back. I saw the Union. Is that what the name of the place is?
Yep.
I haven't frequented them, so I don't.
Look at this place, dude.
Ty probably has.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Look at this place. This is a bar in Iowa City last night. I don't know if you saw this video or not. I mean, that is what college experience is supposed to be like right there.
Yeah.
That is like literally what sports bring to colleges and the experience, the tailgating. We talked about this literally whenever we saw this video. I went to West Virginia at a time where our basketball team was really good. Football team was obviously really good. Our rifle team was starting our 21 national championship. I mean, it was good times. And I think Bin Laden got killed during that time. There was a lot of happenings, and like our campus was alive, and it was like enrollment went up, everything goes up. It was just like great times back then, like you get good times. Sports can provide that, and I think like the schools that understand that and embrace that are normally going to have a better college experience. That is a moment they'll never forget, that Union moment. And I assume that was everywhere. And congrats to you guys for providing that, and I hope you can continue to do so. You know, because football teams got
We're doing just fine.
you got the odds stacked against you. You got Signetti in your guys' conference.
Yeah.
You got Ryan Day.
They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We got this. They're gonna be all right.
Okay, hey, maybe, especially with what's going on in basketball. I don't think anybody
I was going to say
expected this.
it's basketball season right now. We'll address that when it comes. We're trying to go win a national championship right now.
Why not? We appreciate you, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Coach McCollum.
Yeah, Coach.
I love that guy.
Me too.
He's been great to us here in his quick career with Iowa. We talked to him more than we've talked to any college basketball coach.
Yeah.
Active. Yeah.
Well, Izzo came on, right? Didn't he come on once or twice?
Yeah.
Hurley, I guess.
Dan,
There you go.
Cal.
There you go.
Cal.
All the same style, seems like.
Yeah, very similar.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
You think football team is going to benefit from how the basketball team's playing, Ty Schmidt? You think maybe there's a little bit of an ooze that radiates through the athletic department over there and gets that football team back on track in a Big Ten that is absolutely stacked? I mean, just full throttle from top to bottom. And in hoops, it's the same exact way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Again, like I said there, I'm three games away from winning a national championship. So I'm really not, thinking about football right now. But what I hope it does is kind of wake up everybody who is potentially an Iowa alum who's got a bunch of money. Like, now's the time to donate. Okay, we got the best fucking coach in the NCAA. Okay, Kirk is Kirk. He's gonna send guys to the NFL. If you have a lot of money, just burning a hole in your pocket.
Connor, he's talking about himself, right?
I don't. I have 2 kids. I got another one on the way. I do not have a bunch of money burning a hole in my pocket.
But your first baby's kind of Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. But I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about guys like maybe Ashton Kutcher.
We're using names.
Who is making $25 million an episode of 2.5 Men.
Well earned, by the way.
Well earned,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he'd be great.
But if we know what it takes now to kind of get to that next level, pony up. If you got the cash, pony up.
If you got $5,
Yeah, exactly.
we'll put $5 to good use. We'll get a good power forward for you for the next 2 years or so.
Where's John Deere at? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question. How about all that sweet corn? 2.8 billion bushels?
That's a lot of bushels.
Can we get at least a bushel or two donation to the? That's what college sports is now.
Exactly.
We don't think that's good.
Yeah.
It's wrong. We want to let you know.
That's reality.
This is really joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is a great of all time at his profession. 5-time national champion. He's become a phenomenal conversation on this show. We'll see if that continues. We'll see if that continues. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach K.
Yeah, Coach.
How you doing, Coach?
Thank you. Yeah. Boy, that was a great conversation with Ben.
Okay, tell me about him. Tell me your thoughts about him. I'm sure he'll be excited to hear this whenever he hears it months from now.
I told you, I'm not sure how much you remember, but I'm still learning about you.
Okay.
And
Elephant.
I think you have to be given a scouting report multiple times, and not one time. But I told you that my Duke teams played against Ben's Northwest Missouri State team twice.
Oh, yeah. I remember
After
you
they
told me
won
that.
the Division II national champion, we always played an exhibition game against that team the following year. Actually, like in the NFL, when you win, they said we're going to Disney World. We started a tradition where the Division II champion, after they won, said we're going to Cameron.
Let's go. That's awesome.
So heck, he almost beat us one time, and I love the guy. So I've been following his career. Every once in a while, I'll touch base with him. I have not done that this year or this spring, but I really admire all the stuff he's talking about. Every coach in the country should hear that. At all levels, where you hold people accountable, and then you do, the establishment of a relationship is the start of it. Like if I was recruiting you, wow.
Yeah. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
No, I have to the very first thing I'd tell you is, look, I'm going to be one of the only people in your life that will always tell you the truth.
Hell yeah.
Always. And I promise you that from now forever. But two things: when we talk to each other, look each other in the eye and tell the truth immediately. And what will establish is trust and the speed to trust. So it's not just the way the message is put across, it's how quickly will you trust the message. And what he said is terrific. I mean, just terrific.
How do you feel about his mannerisms? I loved he was telling the boys that they were sleepwalking out there, and he obviously completely locked in, does not care that he's on TV, but just literally utilizing every aspect of his being to motivate the boys. Feels like he was born to be a basketball coach. Feels like he loves it, and he feels like one of the old school guys. Is that kind of what you took away from it, obviously?
Yeah, and I wish that we would stop calling it old school and say
should be
school.
How it should
be.
Yeah.
And again, you don't have to necessarily be yelling and screaming, or, I curse probably more than most people. Wow. And not necessarily the people, your team, but
thank you. We appreciate that.
But be honest and in the moment. And he, to me, the way he coaches is real, and we should like real more and not fake. And by the way, the kids should be listening to one voice, and that coach's voice, or the voice of the program, not to other voices. People want, getting in your ear and all that. And it looks like he has that, and that's why they won. That doesn't mean Nebraska didn't have it either, because he's a good coach. But we should teach that more.
Yeah, life should learn that, I think, more.
Yeah. And he made an interesting point about parents, and parents need to have your back. Although he did, I don't know if you caught it. He said, "Well, really doesn't matter."
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh yeah, I caught it as soon as he said it. I was like, well, that's quite an omission there. That the parents have to be in. It doesn't really matter, though. It was him correcting himself. Like, if there was to be a situation, we would certainly not do that. So this is a necessity. But I did appreciate how he talked, and I also appreciated the fact that his team won a hard-fought game. I mean, Iowa-Nebraska was
a great game.
Purdue-Texas, fantastic last night. Obviously, Illinois and Arizona have done their thing. What's your big takeaway from last night's Sweet 16 action, Coach K?
Well, the Big Ten, right? I mean, there are 12 teams remaining, and 5 of them are Big Ten teams. Come on. One Big Ten team is going to make it because Iowa and Illinois are going to play against one another. For me, I like when I'm watching a game from timeouts or after halftime adjustments that are made. And I thought Iowa made a big adjustment at halftime, just as far as increasing the attitude, and what they're going to do. The most impressive team was Arizona. They have 8 dudes that can score. They had 6 guys who scored 16 and more. And you talk about old school, this thing about the 3-point shot, which I'm a proponent for the 3-point shot. But
okay, that's good news. That's good news.
No, but not where it's your only weapon. Arizona, for the year, only about a quarter of their shots are threes. I think they only shot 8 of them last night. They scored over 100 points. So Tommy coaches his way, and they have that mix of international. There's so many good international players playing right now, and young, and then old. It's and they're really deep. They have the most international players, and I really enjoyed that game. And I thought, the Texas team really had an amazing run, and Purdue on the last play, real interesting thing. A lot of people would call a ball screen, right at the end for Braden Smith. They kind of faked the ball screen, and the guy who faked it then rolled, and he was actually the guy, Kaufman-Wren, who tipped it in, and so he didn't get the pass off of a typical roll on a ball screen. He faked it and went around, and he got the tip. It was, those are the kind of things I love watching, like adjustments.
I like the play call there, actually. And as you break it down, I see a little roll through. Okay, let me carry you into a little bit of a dead space over here. We got an ISO now all of a sudden over there. Yeah. And then he stays alive.
Look at you talking basketball for crying out loud.
Hey, I like what they're doing on the wood. I like what they're doing on the wood out there. But also Purdue from the state of Indiana. Obviously, Purdue and Indiana people aren't the tightest, and Indiana people would never publicly say that they're ever cheering for Purdue, and Purdue would never say it about Indiana. Purdue people are definitely like, okay, Indiana's national champs in football. Why not Indiana, the state represent here in basketball as well? They got a great point guard. Their coach is also vet.
He's a great coach.
Beast. It's all good coaches, it feels like. Coaching really matters. Is that why you guys get the big paychecks? That's why you guys get Vills named after you? How much does coaching, because you talked about the halftime adjustments McCollum made, and Sturts came out and said that he called us soft and said we sucked and just all this stuff, and then they came out in the second half.
Ink went everywhere.
And it got to go crazy. Painter obviously gets the massive win. It feels like there has been some real coaching. It matters even more now as we get down the stretch, or is this more players just making plays here as we go forward?
No, coaching, of course, and teaching are critical, are critical, but also not to overcoach, and not just coach X's and O's, but coach, get the feel of the team right now, what they need. Are they satisfied? Are they content? Are they hungry? Those adjustments and how you, before you ever give a game plan, or even after you give a game plan, how do you make those adjustments? Ben talked about moods. That was a cool thing he was talking about. When I say mood right now, it doesn't mean they're in a bad mood, but they are we all in the same mood? And seeing how they do that. Matt Painter is one of the top coaches of all time in the Big Ten, and he seems always in control. He doesn't look to me like he gets his message across the same way that Ben does, but it's the same message. You see what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like what we're talking about is the same message. How you get that across has to be your personality and the personality of your team.
Mike Vrabel said, what I've learned through coaching is that we don't all have to have the same personality, but we all have to have the same mentality. And it's, I think that's a good way to kind of describe it, especially with how you different ways go about winning things. And you talk about Painter always being in control. He's had gigantic human beings on his team. It feels like there's some cyclicality going on in ball. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, it does, Coach. When you're watching these games, it feels like a majority of these teams have good to great bigs. And it felt like the game, you talked about it with the three-point shot earlier, it felt like the game maybe went away from the bigs a bit in the last few years, or maybe 5 years or so. But it feels like now it's coming back to getting the bigs involved, and you have to have good to great bigs to go far in the tournament. Do you agree with that or no?
Yeah, there's no question, and multiple bigs. That's what makes Purdue good. They have two bigs playing at one time. Michigan State tonight, they have two really good big guys, and Carr, who is a 6'8", really strong dude. That's why it's important for our team, Duke, to get Ngamba back, and he'll be playing. And if you have multiple bigs, you can have a fresh big in there all the time, and your rotation is important. I think when we hit a few speed bumps, we weren't playing the first couple games like we were when we're healthy. We're going to get that back because I think Pat will play tonight. I'm pretty sure that Caleb Foster will get minutes tonight, so that'll be good. But the big guys are huge. Look at Arizona. They got strong dudes, man, and they have multiple guys. You're going to see one of the best ones. St. John's big guy is, Big East. I think he's Big East Player of the Year. And if, like, for our game against them, if we can get him in foul trouble, that'd be a.
Okay, so you're coaching that up. You're saying, hey, obviously we would like him to not have as many minutes tonight. That would be fantastic. And because
the best way to defend somebody is to get them in foul trouble. Like when I coached, there were some coaches that when you get 2 early fouls in a game, they take you out and don't put you in. Well, if I knew that was a guy's strategy, especially if it was a perimeter guy, the first 4 minutes we try to drive him, try to get his hands on us, because sometimes too early in the game, an official, they call a few more fouls early,
set the tone,
and then say, boy, you guys did a great job on that guy. Well, yeah, his ass was on the bench.
Yeah.
Because of foul trouble.
I love to hear that. That's chess. That's actual chess.
Yeah.
Let's remove this piece. Okay, let's remove this. What's the best way to stop him? He might get a couple early, but let's drive him. Let's see what these refs are going to do. They'll make the decisions later. What players are you doing? You're picking, obviously, the players to do that too, right? Because you don't want your guys getting fouls.
Yeah. And but you might put something in for that game that would be a little bit different from your normal action, a new thing or a couple new things that would isolate that guy. That's not part of how, the scouting report. You actually put new stuff in, not a lot. And that's another adjustment. And so it's cool to watch and see how people are doing that from timeouts, game to game. Like Connecticut with the kid Reed in the first game of the tournament, he goes 31-27. Well, that didn't just happen. Danny Hurley did something where he saw that going to him more than we normally do would benefit us. He hit the jackpot.
Yes, he certainly did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The next game he scored 14 and whatever, and he played a good game, but they didn't go to him the same way because Danny saw something else. I mean, not that I called Danny and talked to him about this, but I like watching how the tournament progresses and how the guys who are winning, what they do the next game, what changes do they make?
I love to hear you.
Yeah, I wish all the TV people would look at that, try to get the fan involved in that type of thing a little bit more.
Yes.
I think in football they do. Again, there's more time to do it between plays and that.
Yeah, we're circling things that are happening, why they're doing stuff. Like we have obviously different packages of people coming onto the field, coming off the field, different sets and everything. And that's a part of the strategy that is football coverage, basically. They're in 12 personnel right now. They're doing this, they're doing this stuff. And then the analysts have enough time to be able to break it down. What you were just saying right there, that's incredible. I love hearing oh, this guy's a good player, huh? All right. We'll get our fifth guy, sixth guy. You need to go to his left hand. He gets a little handsy whenever he's over there. He's a little late with his feet. Let's go. Is that we're trying to get him late with his feet? Hands late? What are we trying to get?
The whole damn body, if you can. And but hands are hands are the biggest sinners in fouls, or, arms. Like you'd foul out in a second.
No, I got good feet. I got good feet.
The way you have no control over your arms.
Yes, I do. You know where they're going? Boom, ball, boom, bang, ribs, elbow, ribs, elbow,
If needed.
strip. Oh, he gets by me. Classic.
Yep.
Boom,
That's a big
punch
move.
out the back. I never hit.
That's an automatic foul.
No, I'm getting the ball.
Going behind's an automatic foul.
No, I'm not hitting the elbow at all. I'm not breaking my hand on
The
the elbow.
elbow's pretty automatic too.
No.
In fact, the elbow leads to flagrant.
Think about this, coach. Think about this,
You
coach.
would lead the league in flagrants, I think.
What, with my mouth, with the ref, potentially? Is that what happens? Because I don't like the calls that they're already making. I can tell because the way you're judging me, so I assume the refs are going to be doing the same. These big quads are going to get around, though. I mean, I'm gonna lock it down. And I'm always going to, hand.
Bopwood.
Always. Maybe a fake feint to the, instead of hands in the face, fist to the,
Smart.
just a little bit.
Pump fake.
Then bang.
Think
then
about it,
swat. Yeah, I mean, coach, you don't understand
Strategy.
what's potentially happening over. Then bang, we're getting the ball. Boom, outlet.
Yep.
Look at that. That's a full court. Over the shoulder like Caitlin Clark used to do at Iowa. Bang, we're in the thing.
Back
Boom.
on defense.
Now we're back. Now we're guess what
Let's
we're
play
doing.
ball.
Oh, I'm gonna let the guy go.
I love that you slapped the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bop wood. You do too, right? Isn't that kind of your style? You bop wood, yeah?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, you do. You slap that wood.
Hey!
Just like tonight, make sure you stay up all night and watch these games.
It's a Friday.
I got a funny feeling about
In the East, St. John's and Duke's going to be an incredible game. And then you follow it up with two guys, and obviously Rick Pitino has won national championships. And then you follow it up with Hurley and Izzo. You talk about physical, two intense physical games tonight. It's going to be, that is a Final Four. That East region is a Final Four. Not that the Midwest is bad, but it'll be interesting if the kid from Alabama is allowed to play.
Alabama has come out and said that there is no status change with the team. So I think he'll probably be there, but I think they have said status with team is unchanged or something like that.
Yeah. You know what, though? Nate Oates has his own style, and he's a terrific coach. For the year, half their shots are three-point shots. And the last game, 42 out of, I think it was 68 shots were threes.
Jeez.
So, the three-point shot can kill you both ways. But that'll be a tough thing for Michigan. And they come down. They don't take what you would call necessarily all conventional shots. They take some shots and says, "Oh, I didn't think he was going to shoot that." Yeah. And not only, I didn't think he was going to hit that. Yeah, well, he's doing it again. And
So can we stop it? Yeah.
Please.
He's pulling up from the logo. Yeah, we would like to stop that, though, because it's falling, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, and then I'm interested in the Iowa State-Tennessee game if Jefferson plays for Iowa State. He's a guy. They shoot ball really well and they play great defense, but so does Rick Barnes' Tennessee team. To me, if Jefferson plays, I'd give a nod to Iowa State. Otherwise, I think it's a real toss-up game. And Jefferson is a man, and not that the other guys are, but he's
Of course, yeah.
he's the man
Force.
for them. Yeah.
All right, Coach, we have about a minute and a half left, and if we didn't ask you about the UNC job, we'd be doing a disservice to journalism. So if you have a quick thought, how do you feel about the UNC job being open, and are you going to go coach them?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that would really, they would not want me to coach them.
Belichick.
I think anybody
The
would.
second thing is I'm through with coaching. So, but Hubert Davis is a good friend. Actually, his wife, Leslie, her father who passed in the last year, was one of my teammates at West Point. And so I think Hubert's one of the great guys. I'm sad that happened. I think every coach in the country has empathy for him. You lose a player the caliber of Caleb Wilson, like he's a top 5 pick in the NBA draft, and you don't have him the last few weeks of the season. That's a big thing. That's a huge thing. But they can do what they want to do. I just have a lot of empathy for Hubert and a lot of respect for him. And it's one of the great programs of all time in any sport. And so I'm sure they will get a coach that is worthy of that position. It's one of the big time positions in sport.
Yeah, Duke UNC special for college basketball has been for a long time. Will it continue to be with the Big Ten just basically becoming basketball?
Probably not.
Hey, Coach K,
go
ahead.
The Big Ten, we talked about them not winning a basketball national championship, I think since 2001. And but now 5 of the 12 are Big Ten teams. So
I'm not good at math. That's almost 50%. Yeah.
They have one team in the Final Four already. It's either going to be Illinois or Iowa. And and by the way, Illinois is undervalued some because in the last month or so of the season, their only 4 losses were all in overtime by 1 possession. They could have been undefeated for a long period of time. And you talk about a good, tough coach. Their coach, he's come from the JUCO ranks. They didn't fly private airplanes and whatever. They had bus stops,
Yes.
So he comes from that school, and they played terrific defense against Houston last night.
We love the teams that are still left, and we appreciate the hell out of the fact that you're joining us throughout this entire tourney. We'll talk to you next week on the other side of this Sweet 16. Who's going to be making it to the Elite Eight? Who's still alive to make it to the Final Four? And who's going to be the national champion? Like this man was 5 times. You're the best. We appreciate the hell out of you.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right.
Elephant.
I didn't get any questions from your team. I
know. We'll do it Monday.
How much hair dye did you put in this morning, Coach? Your hair looks great.
That's a good question.
Well, you know what? One last thing. I did pluck out the one gray part of my eyebrow.
Great USA ring.
Yeah, you didn't want to represent. I didn't
want you to notice that as much as you were looking at my eyebrows.
Hey, let's see. How many other rings do we have on there? Just one? Yeah, might as well, yeah.
No big deal.
The hell with it. Yeah. I'll have a couple others on tomorrow. You're the best. Coach K, you're the best.
Yeah, go!
He's the greatest. We pushed the out 2 times throughout that thing.
Had to.
It was Coach K.
Good to know. Yeah, he's the greatest. He is the greatest.
Yes.
He's awesome. Our FaceTimes of them are awesome. I mean, they are. He's been a great asset to our lives.
Unreal.
Certainly.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change your life. We're back on the other side with Move the Sticks and AJ Hall.
Hell yeah.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, 100,000 for you, 100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs? So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh my! Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bill! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest. College football's amazing. Bill, you just won $200,000. You're a genius.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Sweet 16, Feel Good Friday, March 27, 2026, hour 2 of the program begins now. Sports! Our magical, and last night we had a couple more magical moments. Somebody that is sitting on this stage actually cried some tears of joy while celebrating with another Jack and Diet as he saw his school do something it hadn't done since 1987. And that's just one piece of the magic that is March Madness. Well, they have their one shining moment. Or will the shoe come earlier than midnight for the Cinderella story? That is the Iowa Hawkeyes. We talked to Coach McCollum this morning, aired it in the last hour. He seems awesome. D2 national champion 4 times, could have been 5 times if they would have had the COVID year. They didn't have hoops that particular year at Northwest Missouri. He won in 2019, 2021, 2022. We assumed that team during 2020 would have go ahead.
I believe they were undefeated, and then the tournament just got canceled.
So we assumed that team would have won as well. So he would have 5 total D2 national championships with 4 straight, which is impossible in basically anything, let alone the level, because you're playing with that level of players as well. Everybody's playing with the same level of players. So whenever you're able to win like that, it's obviously something that attracts some people. Then you go to Drake, then you go to Iowa, and all of a sudden we're doing something that Iowa Hawkeyes fans haven't seen since I was born 38 years ago. So special time in Iowa, but it's not just there. Arizona had a big one last night. Illinois had a big one last night. Purdue continues their magical run. Who will punch their tickets to the Elite Eight tonight as games are on at 7:10, 7:35, 9:45, and 10:10.
Oh.
Come on, we can't be old all the time. Tonight's going to be awesome.
10:10.
Tip time that is subject to change. That could be 10:25, 10:30. That is anything, but we will stay up and we will watch because college hoops has been magical and we only got a few games left. The Talks of Tables here at Boston Connor at Ty Schmidt. Ty, congrats to you. Con man, March Madness has been magical.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, especially yesterday having two games that kind of went down to the wire. That's what we were talking about earlier that is tough is because the later games both stunk. So it's kind of like, hey, why are these on at the same time? Where the earlier ones, both are great. I'm honestly hoping for one blowout in each slate so that we can kind of zero in. I'm hoping St. John's and Duke goes down to the wire. Alabama's been cool. Michigan, go ahead, just run away with it. And then in the second time, the second slate as well. Michigan State, UConn, let's bring that down to the wire. Tennessee, Iowa State, why don't one of you guys just step up and blow the other one out? Okay, I really don't care who wins in any of these games, actually, aside from St. John's. I need St. John's to win or else my entire bracket's busted. But look, let's just try and...
Please talk to Coach K.
Yeah, okay, and I love Coach K.
And they got a guy coming back. I think he broke some news.
Yeah. Which is sweet. But Coach K's lying about his hair.
What happened? Did he break the news that the guy's coming back?
No, he played in the round of 32 and is listed as questionable. There's another player, Caleb Foster, who has not played at all, who might be back as well.
He said that. He said he expects him to get some minutes tonight. Yeah,
that's the guy. He broke that.
Did he break that news?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Dumbass sitting right here.
It's all right. You have a lot of other things going on. I like the self-accountability that quick, though, publicly. That was in both ears, right? Not just my writing?
No, I heard that.
Okay, I like that out of
you.
you, Bruce. I do think he broke some news, but my conversations with him off-air in between the rounds, him talking about how much just adding one more body or like a specific type of player, how much it helps literally everybody else and everything else. So listening to him describe why that's such a big deal, not only for his team, but for all these teams, it's interesting because the wear and tear of a season is long, but they're getting guys back now as the tournament continues to roll on. And it's like 1 or 2 days can really do a lot for people. Like it is crazy how basketball recovers, but I've enjoyed the hell out of this March Madness. Haven't won a bet. Got all the picks right last night. Didn't have any money in my account.
I got a great one for you today.
I don't want to hear it.
No. I got a great one. Look, it was a tough start to the baseball season on Wednesday. I think Aaron Judge might hit a home run today.
All right, one half of the hammer.
Dahn. You heard the rule
Cowboys.
we made yesterday?
What was that?
Dahn. No more team rides in this.
Team ride's dead.
And after tonight.
Run it back, man. Judgy.
Let's just think about
against a lefty.
What
Come
is that?
on.
Plus 20,000 for Aaron Judge to hit a baseball.
I put in a 6-leg home run parlay for 125,000 this morning. If anybody wants to.
Yeah, I saw you texted that into the group saying, "Hey, come follow along." Hey, bud, how about no? Hey, how about one? I just need one.
213 for Judge to hit a home run tonight.
Oh my gosh, it should be
plus.
Plus 1,000.
I should have said that.
Let's go to an attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen. A man who's a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, and a depressed Cincinnati Reds.
Loser.
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, baby, Hawk.
You look,
jeez.
You look really good.
You see me? I got sprayed. You see me?
Oh, yes, you did. Okay, it looks good.
Yeah.
Holy hot.
I said go light in my face, but it looks like kind of dark on my face.
Yeah, they never go. Yeah, that never happens, especially anytime. So what do we got? A wedding? Are you modeling? You look unbelievable.
I mean, I might go into modeling now after this, but no, we got a little trip set up with the kids. So, and I saw somebody on the internet talk about like, you're not allowed to get spray tan or whatever. That just guaranteed me. I was like, yeah, I'm getting spray tan.
Okay, so I appreciate the fact that is what really drove you to get a spray tan, is that somebody on the internet said you shouldn't get a spray tan?
Not directly to me, just in general, I guess. Like, guys shouldn't do it. I said, okay, well, cool.
So, as you know, I'm a spray tanner. Have been for a long time.
Nice.
Have been for, you know that. You know, you've seen me dripping, actually. I think
I've seen you in Orlando, I believe, with like you got a serious spray, yeah.
Which I think you potentially might have got here today as well. And I don't know if because they tinted or.
How long did it take Bob to do the spray you?
Yeah, and was it handheld spray? And did Bob have two guns? Like,
surprisingly, Bob's wife actually does spray people. She didn't spray me, but she does spray people. I'm sure Bob has dabbled in the game as well.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Right quad, need to get a good little shading. Give me some shading on the bottom there so I get that teardrop. teardrop tattoo. I want to let you know, you look fantastic. Whatever you did was great. I do think my entire body had a fungus reaction. Remember that?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Yours came out
That did
orange too.
Yeah, there was. Well, that's also potentially because of my particular pigment color. You know, I have a lot of people that say, "Hey, wear sunscreen." It's like I can help my. I'm a red. I'm red.
Mm-hmm.
I am a red person. So if you mix that with the wrong spray tan, it tell you. You know, it's like I'm doing it with my daughter right now. We're painting. You're mixing colors together.
Yeah. Chemical reaction.
Yeah, there's a couple places that are good for my particular pigment of white, and then there's a couple places that really make me look like an asshole. And then there was one particular place that was really in a pinch, had to go, didn't know I had to do something, just kind of went in there and went willy-nilly on that thing, did all the things, and then did the thing, and fungus my whole body.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do.
That was like 4 weeks of having a fungus on my body.
Yeah, itchy and all over.
Yeah, I had to get like steroid
Bumps.
cream. I had to do this entire thing. I was like, whoa. So I've been a little bit gun shy with spray tan. Let's hope the same thing doesn't happen to you, AJ Hawk. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's in the middle of his Super Bowl season. Obviously, he is a football pundit all year round. He's a color commentator as well. But whenever we want to talk to this man, it's whenever he knows more than everybody else. And it's about draft season. Ladies and gentlemen, from NFL Network and friend of the program, Dan Jeremiah.
Yay!
No spray tan for DJ. I get it. It's not the draft yet.
No, by the way, Taylor Lewan still has the best combine spray tan of any prospect in the history of the combine.
It's a good idea.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
I'll tell you, you can't tan it, they say. And if you could just spray that thing on, you certainly do that. And I do respect that Taylor Lewan's the one. Yeah. It's awesome. Remember, he's got a right-hand man.
Right-hand man.
Yep. He's got a tattoo of a little man Yeah, that is a good
Look at that.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
Shave the arms, too, obviously. Shave it up.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and spray tan that thing. If you would have put a little bit of, hair conditioner on the arms.
Glistening.
Just kind of lather that thing up a little bit. The hair as well. Which he might have. Hell.
Yeah.
He looks unbelievable. Became what, top 10? Top 5?
Yeah.
He-
He had a phenomenal workout. That thing made him run a little bit faster, I think.
That thing, I like that thing. Let's talk about that thing that is the draft in Pittsburgh. We cannot wait for it. April 23rd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will be round 1 of the 2026 NFL draft. We cannot wait to get to Pittsburgh and for Pittsburgh to showcase how big of a football town it is. From that moment and now, everything in between. How much should we be believing? How much should we be believing right now? And DJ, what are your thoughts on how far in we are to a team making a decision? Obviously, you've been a scout. You're into this shit now. You do TV.
Yeah.
Are teams knowing what they're looking at right now? Or when do we get to that kind of point of the entire draft process?
I think if you're picking up their high, I think if you're in the top 5, you kind of know who your top 5 guys are. It's not that, it's not that complicated. Everybody's had a chance, the key decision makers, to watch those key guys, stacking those up. If you're in the bottom of the first round, we would always have meetings in early April. And our last thing, if we were picking 26, Ozzy would say, okay, here's the 10 players we feel like it's our pick's going to come down to one of these 10 guys. So everybody in the room, if you haven't already watched all of these guys, maybe you've watched 6 of them, maybe you've watched 9 of them, but let's just finish it up so we can have that last little discussion to stack those last few guys. So that can go on, over the next couple of weeks. But if you're picking up there high, I think you kind of know what direction you're going.
Have they separated themselves, the top of this draft, from the rest of the draft? Obviously, we all saw it. You saw it. We all saw it. We are a part of it. We are there. Dan, the whole thing. And his take that Ty Simpson's the best quarterback in this draft is from his film study and his thoughts on what an NFL quarterback will be with the traits that Ty Simpson has. We love Ty Simpson. We would like to let that be known. We love Ty Simpson. Dan Orlovsky started saying things about Fernando Mendoza to kind of justify what he was saying, and then everybody just kind of picked him apart for that. And that's going to happen. You live in the paint. Every once in a while, you're going to get dunked on. That's going to happen with Dano. It's happened to us before. He's kind of in the middle of it. He'll move on. But his point, I think, remains like he really likes Ty Simpson as an NFL prospect. What are your thoughts on the quarterback class this year? And what are your thoughts on Ty and Fernando's kind of potential over the next couple of years as NFL quarterbacks, especially with Las Vegas's free agency, where they spent a lot and got a lot of good pieces? What are your thoughts on both of them, basically, and the conversation right now, how it's going?
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, first of all, I'll start with Dan, because Dan and I are buddies, as you guys are, and texting all the time over the last month.
Wow.
And this is something, as you know, he was kind of building up to this and doing all the work. And I just told him, look, if you've done all the work and watched everything and you believe that way, then absolutely stand by your opinion. And that's what he did, and that's what he gets paid to do. So I thought it was a good conversation you guys had. It's mimics what happens in the room. You'd be surprised. You'd think there's some no-brainer, there's no discussion or debate, and you'll have somebody in the room who feels differently on just about every single player. So that's a little bit of what goes on in the draft room. Now, for me, I've been a Fernando guy from jump. What he has is exceptional. You talk about the size, the intelligence, the arm strength, the accuracy. All that stuff is excellent. The two criticisms I've heard the most have been the RPOs in the offense. And then I would say that, he can be a little bit robotic, and he's more of kind of a drive thrower than a layer thrower, whereas Ty Simpson, can get balls up and down, that type of touch and the feel on some of those throws. Well, look, I've called every single one of Justin Herbert's games in the NFL, and Justin came out. Those are the exact same criticisms that people had of him. He was, okay, maybe he's a little bit stiff. He's a little bit robotic. And then they threw a ton of RPOs at Oregon. But you can't get caught up in grading the offense that he's in or grading what he's being asked to do. You have to grade the skill set and what he does in big moments. And if you got a second, Pat, I can rip through a couple here because
we do got a few seconds now. I think about it.
Okay, if you're going to Coach K to me, I'm like, you got somebody more important on the horizon. I can trim this thing down a little bit here. But this is 3rd and 7+ throws. This last year, I highlighted a couple of them. Iowa. 1:36 to go in the fourth quarter, 13-13 game. Reads the blitz, hot route, slant, touchdown. Oregon, 3rd and 8, 6 minutes to go, fourth quarter, 20-20 game. Back shoulder TD to take the lead. Penn State, the throw everybody knows about, 41 seconds left, down by 4. Ohio State, 3rd and 8, 8 minutes to go, third quarter, down 10-6, back shoulder touchdown. Like, that's just a little glimpse of it. And then you go pull the red zone numbers, and he's 27 touchdowns, no picks. So I can make a strong argument for why he should be the first pick in the draft.
I think everybody can, and I think Dan's realizing that in real time. I think he is, because I think he did fall in love with Ty. Let's go to Ty Simpson as well, because we know incredible leadership. I think everybody talks about.
Dog.
He doesn't have a lot of starts, but he was playing against Alabama every single day in practice, through multiple coaches and having multiple situations. Was able to win them some games. Does have a pretty ball. Very fluid athlete, I think you could say. The only issue, took a couple shots, doesn't have a lot of starts, and he's 6'1", which I is not as small as, what a 5'10" or a 5'11" would normally look like in the draft season process.
Yeah, this is the part that I don't like about this gig and the process.
Don't tear him down. Talk about what he has that's good.
No. To me, it's just you love one player automatically means you hate the other player.
Got it.
And I think we're drinking from the same cup here of saying we like Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson's a good player. Ty Simpson, you talk about like the footwork, the release, all that stuff is excellent. You can tell he's a son of a coach. He plays the game, that way in terms of how he sees things, he processes. You see him make some of these touch throws. The throw, and Dan highlighted against Missouri, is probably one of the best throws that you'll see in college football last year. It was excellent. But with the job is not just identifying what they do on the field. It's called an evaluation because you've got to place a value on it. And you can't ignore the fact that you don't have elite size, that you've got 15 starts, and that there's concern about how you're going to physically hold up because your body wore down. I know he got sick, but his body did wear down at the end of the year. So I like him. I just value him with that risk assessment as a high second-round pick. And if somebody wanted to do it late in the first round, I can understand that. I can get behind that. But that traditionally, that has not been something that's been valued as a top 15 pick in a draft. So that's where I like him. I just value him a little different.
Got it. And obviously, all you need is one team, one GM, one owner.
Oh, 100%.
To believe that
Arizona makes all the sense in the world to me. Like that if I could pinpoint one team, it's Arizona. Now that that coffee's too rich. I cannot see that happening. But then they're picking at the top of the second round. So if they wanted to come back into the bottom of the first round, I mean, I think he's, it'd be a pick I could totally get behind. So I like him. I think he's got a chance to be a good player. I just, that there's worrisome trends, and we can go all the way through them. Cam Newton being kind of the only guy, since 2011 with under 17 starts, and Cam Newton's a cyborg. Like that's not, that's not a normal human being.
Yeah, he was awesome to watch. The first time you see him on a football field, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh. No, that's stupid. I saw him
That's
at the
a
combine
quarterback?
walking around.
That's their fucking quarterback right there? Yeah, right.
I did the same thing, dude. First time I saw him at the combine, it was just like, I was like, I've never been speechless looking at another dude, except for the tan that AJ's got going on right now.
Yeah.
Respect.
That was the moment.
Agreed. On all that there about Ty and Fernando, AJ looking phenomenal.
I can't believe I can't even look at.
Have you showered yet?
Yeah, no, you haven't.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, so,
Oh,
shockingly,
so
I have.
that's
Now that I see myself on camera, it's a little darker than I expected. No question. But I'm okay with it.
Hold on, though. How many hours did you let that thing settle for? That looks like
Overnight. Like 9 p.m. and then showered super early this morning.
Settled in.
Oh, white sheets? How do we do that? Did you put towels down? What'd you do?
Long sleeves, towel on the pillow. All of it.
AJ Hawkini.
He's 12 hours into this. You took a shower this
I-
morning. Normally it goes in the shower. Nothing.
Nope.
It was clear water on the ground in the shower. That's unbelievable. You look good, bro.
Yeah.
Blending in with the books in the back.
Yeah.
I know. I caught myself a few times. It is kind of weird. This might just be what I do. Every week I'm probably going to have to get sprayed now. But DJ, getting
How
back
about
to
you
football-
look at yourself saying, age?
New look.
You look good, dude.
Yeah.
How about those teeth, dude?
Unbelievable.
You look
Yeah, when I catch a glimpse of myself, it reminds me of when the bodybuilders get sprayed way too dark for a competition. You see him and you're speaking to him. But either way.
You're not
either
too
way, it's
dark.
good.
You look perfect. Okay, anyways. You
Okay,
look perfect.
thank you. I appreciate that.
hey,
DJ, Fernando Mendoza, are the Raiders 100% locked in on him? Are you getting any kind of read from that building? And also, do we see anything happen in that top five? A team comes up, team gets out of there, like any kind of shenanigans happen in that top five?
Well, I mean, look, I've been talking around at people, not with the Raiders, but other folks. It was, Fernando Mendoza is working with Brian Griese right now, and it's not so much that they're working on footwork; they're installing the Raiders' offense. So he's
nice.
I mean, he's full speed ahead. I think this is the same thing that happened with Burrow, where you can use this time to really try and learn a lot of the core verbiage and concepts along with an offense. So it feels to me like I'm shocked, stunned, astonished if he's not the first overall pick. I don't see that going any other direction. So that's where it is at 1. And then after that, it looks like the Jets, everything I hear about the Jets is that it's 27. That's kind of the destination for them. Everything's building towards 27. They have those picks, those 3 first-round picks. This year's trying to build somewhat of a foundation so that quarterback can come in there and be, successful in 27. I don't see them as a quarterback team at 2 or 16. I think they take, I would think that Carnell Tate, if they were picking maybe 4 or 5, that he would be in the mix there. But I think where they are at 2, it comes down to, whether or not you want Arvell Reese or Bailey. And then at 16, I would think a receiver probably for them.
Okay, you just mentioned a man there, Arvell Reese. If you're trying to build a foundation, not a bad idea. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, DJ, obviously when you're projecting for Arvell Reese, he was mostly off ball at Ohio State, did play some edge, and then you get comparisons to Micah because he did the same thing at Penn State. And I've heard you talk on your podcast about Dan Quinn and what he did with Micah every day after practice in the transition. Does he definitely project to an outside, you think, in the NFL and with the Jets, because they are projecting for the future and not so necessarily this year? Is that why Arvell kind of fits right there?
Yeah, that's why I ended up switching him and putting him in there, because I had Bailey. I think Bailey's more ready to go as a rusher, like day one. He's polished, and it's not like you're sacrificing all this athleticism. He's super, explosive and twitchy and all those things. Arvell Reese has more in his body. Like there's just more potential and upside there. He's got a little more snap, a little more power. He just doesn't have quite the plan at this point in time that Bailey does as a rusher, because he's been spending a lot of time off the ball. So I could see some teams, hey, we want to use him in this hybrid role. And we're going to play him off the ball, and then we'll let him rush some on third downs. Usually when you get guys like this, it almost always ends up with them being edge rushers eventually. And so that's where the timeline for the Jets for me was like, okay, if it's 26, it's Bailey. But if you're picking a guy that you want to get the most out of as you go off into the future in 27, I think you can make the case for Arvell Reese there.
Okay, I love that. That photo coming out of the pro day was rude. It was rude.
Yeah, come on. Very rude.
I didn't see it.
No, me neither. Yeah, it didn't come across my. Bobby Carpenter's the one that introduced it to me. So if you're judging a guy off a photo from pro day and not watching the tape, you need to.
Oh, is this the bag drill stuff?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I
Now, granted, on that note, gives Arvell Reese even more chip on his shoulder work.
That's right.
You know, the whole thing. I think all these things end up having a good positive, but it was fresh off of what Bain was doing, too. We watched Bain at a different camera angle. This one's from the ground, by the way, looking up, as opposed to from a different angle as well. So I'm not saying that maybe it's camera angle, but then you see this one with Bain from the front whenever he's exploding through the other side. Which one are you taking? You know, that's kind of how the internet immediately does. It's just the world that we're in. But I do appreciate the fact that Arvell Reese just had an entire new heaping of just like, yeah, you stink, dude.
Oh, I stink.
Oh, okay, we'll see how that goes. That's always good for elite athletes. Let's stick with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, DJ, what are you hearing about Caleb Downs? At post-combine, there was a thing coming about his knee, and I think that was largely bullshit maybe, but then we didn't really see him do that much at his pro day. What do you think his ceiling, or his floor is for where he's going to get picked? A lot of people we've talked to have basically said first time he set foot on campus at Alabama, hey, that was a gold jacket guy. A lot of people think he might be the best overall player in this draft class. What do you expect for him?
It's a tricky one. I like him a lot as my player. I think he's my 8th overall player on my list. But the safety position is tricky, man. Like, if Derwin didn't go in the top 10, if Hamilton didn't go in the top 10, if Emanwari fell to the second round, which is insane, I don't know that you just say like it's a lock, just lock it in. He's a top 5. He's going to go guaranteed even in the top 10. I would say the floor for me is probably Cowboys at 12. Maybe more in that range. Ooh. But it's just I don't think you can look at it and say the fact he's not 6'4", he's not 220 pounds. He didn't have 6-7 picks like some wow production. He's just a darn good, like just consistent. Everything he does is right, and he's a force multiplier in terms of the communication and the leadership and all that stuff. It's just the safety position can be a little fickle on draft day. So I don't quite just put that in ink that he's going in the top 5 or the top 10, even though I have him as a top 10 player.
You added a little nuance there. You said on draft day. So they can like a safety, then on draft day, push comes to shove. We're taking 4-5 over 4-3-5 right now? That's what we're doing right now? That's what you're alluding to basically with the safety position as a whole?
Well, I think you're just looking at it and saying, man, look at what these pass rushers are going to cost us on the open market. Look where that market is right now. Oweh didn't start for the Chargers last year. I think he got $25 million as their third rusher. So you're looking at that saying, well, we can go get one of these pass rushers early. Not only we get a good player, but there's a cost component to this whole thing. Whereas, safeties just haven't been valued in terms of how they've been paid that way, so that can impact some of the thinking.
Let's save the salary cap with young contracts here with our top picks as opposed to going to get the premium contract up here that we have to get. That's why, like, rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
That deal.
Oh, it's the best deal going, man.
That deal is it's a wild card. You just got basically a wild card dealt to your hand. Here you go. If it works out, you are in cap heaven right now. Mm-hmm. But if this guy's ass, and you were preparing for that, and then you spend a bunch of money on the roster, and then you got to go pay for a quarterback as well, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Impossible.
And it's so
Look at all the fun. Look at all the fun that New England had in free agency last year. Like, they got the quarterback, cost them nothing. You can go out and throw out all kinds of money. Got messed around and got themselves almost to the finish line.
Now, on that note, you can also get a guy who's already being talked about as a GOAT, get him on a deal for like 8 years and have it be underpay every single year, and he comes back 100 days after a surgery and he's spinning the pill.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you could do the Patrick Mahomes angle as well. Matthew Stafford got a good deal out there and everybody. But, money's going to be big. I appreciate the fact that, let's get a pass rusher in here because the money they're getting is $40 million plus.
Yes.
If they get good. That's quarterback money. Let's talk about running back money, shall we? Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, a little different, DJ. It might change with Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, but Jeremiah Love, it feels like he's a guy that might be picked pretty high. I think you had him at 4 to Tennessee. I think some other guys might have said, hey, you know what, maybe Bob Saleh goes and gets Sonny Styles, so they bet on that. But what do you think about Jeremiah Love? Schefter told us he loves him to Washington at 7. I believe. What is your expectation with him? And do you see him getting out of the top 10, or do you see him as like, hey, this is one of, if not the best player overall in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I have him right behind Fernando. So I can't, even though you take the running back position, and people have had that debate for really the last decade. But this dude's he's too good. He's not getting out of the top 10. And I know I saw Schefter's thing with you guys where he said no on Tennessee, which, look, Adams obviously is dialed in as anybody on planet Earth. So I'll trust him on that. But man, I look at Tennessee and I just think, don't you have to do something for your quarterback? Like, do something to help him out here. You take him 1-1 overall, and you got a chance to give him a player like this. And you're going into a new building as well in a year. And that's an easy sales pitch of like, now we are a fun, exciting team with a young quarterback, a dynamic running back to throw into the mix. We can throw him the ball a ton as well. I love the fit there with Tennessee, but Adam's saying that's not going to happen. If he starts to get towards 7, I would think you might even get some phone calls, from some teams. I know Kansas City already signed Walker, but I mean, this guy paired up with Kenneth Walker at Kansas City would be pretty insane.
Yeah, and we'd all say, of course.
No thanks.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the ones doing that. Did we expect him to run a 4.3, whatever he ran?
Oh, yeah, you can see it. Like, he's got another gear. The Pitt game, when he's running full speed and spins without gearing down and then just explodes out in the open field, I was like, yeah, he's legit fast. There you go. There's the runner. Knight, you guys are producing the heck out of this thing today.
Hey, I'll tell you what, today, every day. That's why, hey, the boys back there up for an Emmy back there.
Yeah.
Good job, boys. Good job, boys. But, yeah, we put it in slow-mo, though, just so you could see it. Yeah. But what you were saying is that thing did not slow down, actually. There was an...
No, that's just stupid. And then it was right then. It was then he just kind of hit the gas and you could see him go. I mean, he's got real game speed to go along with the time speed.
Yeah, and everything we've learned about him, the person, would love to have him in your program.
Yes.
Like that is seemingly, our thoughts are. Every time he's been on our show, he's been awesome. He was on game day. He was awesome.
And we saw him at Indiana. We literally 98 yards to the house.
Out of the goal line. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a weapon. How's the Tennessee Titans offensive line? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
They got a couple good pieces there, but look, they gave Dan Moore a lot of money in free agency last year at the left tackle spot, and I don't think he necessarily played to that contract yet.
Shocker.
So that's one of those tricky things where you're like looking at it going, okay, how long do we stay committed to a contract that we sign versus we need to get some better folks in there?
Yeah, because you talk about bringing in Jeremiah Love there, top 5 pick to go with Cam Ward, and it's like, do we get Cam Ward protection though first? Do we try to figure how's that? How are the offensive line in this particular draft class? I don't think we've talked about that at all.
Yeah. I think the tackles, we're gonna have 6 go in the first round with a potential 7th. I think it will go early in the second round. So we're gonna see those tackles all go off the board. Then I think we'll see a little bit of a gap after those guys go at the tackle position, and then interior offensive line wise. Ioane from Penn State is a total stud. I mean, you can make a strong argument he's the best lineman period in the draft. Like he's awesome. So he'll go in round 1, and then day 2 is the sweet spot for interior offensive linemen. There's 6 or 7 of them that I think come in. They're plug and play, and it'll have a real good impact. So if you're some of these teams, the Chargers are one of them, looking for interior offensive linemen. Day 2 that's the honey hole.
What did Linderbaum just get paid? 30?
Yeah,
29 or something like that.
Yeah.
29, it's like, hey, that's big money for an interior offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But what everybody's learning is whenever you got 4 first-round D linemen, which all the teams at the top do, the inside of that pocket's starting to get a little. You got one-on-two guys that can beat those guys now. And it's like, I feel like the offensive line as a whole is going to prosper because of that if you're a guy. But that Linderbaum deal was huge.
Yeah.
That was gigantic. And Tom Brady's probably a massive piece of that. It's
Basically
like, hey.
fully guaranteed, too.
Yeah, we need a center in here if we're going to get a rookie quarterback. It's like, good for the interior offensive lineman. Just a couple years too late for AQ. You're all right, AQ.
Thank you.
You're all right, AQ.
By the way, that contract, I heard from probably a handful of teams, this is the worst contract ever signed in the history of mankind. And I heard from a handful of agents, this is an absolute dream. Thank God for this contract. Like, there was literally weeping and celebrating on opposite sides of the aisle when that deal was done.
I think one agent was probably pretty proud of the work, and everybody else was getting talked about. Hey, well, how come you can't? So it feels like there's a little bit of a different view on things. AJ has the last question for you, DJ. We appreciate the hell out of you, brother.
Yeah, DJ, what about Jacob Rodriguez? Where do you see him going? Could he sneak up there? I saw someone mock him to the 3rd round, which seems crazy to me. I feel like that guy could be a day 1 starter for you. Where do you see Rodriguez?
I would say I think he's going to go in the second round, but if you gave me a choice between the first and the third, I would take the first.
Ooh.
He's just a really, really good player. And then I thought he probably had the most impactful combine of anybody. He ran 4.57, which, any of the criticism of questioning his athleticism and stuff, he kind of put that to rest. And then you've got all the production to go on top of it. You've got, the interviews, which have been off the charts, and, the leadership, the intelligence. He goes to the Senior Bowl. He's punching out balls at the Senior Bowl like he did on tape. It's just, I don't know what else this guy has to do. He's kind of aced all the tests. He's in my top 50. I think I have him in the 40s. But AJ, if you told me that, we went to bed after night one and he's already on a jet going somewhere, I wouldn't be shocked.
I love that. Fall in love with the person, I think.
That's right.
And then you start seeing agility. Then you see, he's a quarterback as well. So his brain, and then his mustache.
Perfect.
Need that.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic.
And then when he needs to throw one under pressure, he'll hit it. Only guy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm a big fan of his. The provision that might have people talking in Linderbaum's deal, we looked it up, is the no tag thing at the end. It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Good deal. Yeah.
That's a good deal. We keep it moving. You think these refs are going to get a deal done with the NFL, DJ? I don't.
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
outside.
I don't think
outside.
so.
That's outside of my window. Can I ask you one question though?
Sure.
Did you guys meet Scooble when you were doing your WBC stuff?
Nah, he was kind of removed from the Team USA portion of it. Just kind of doing
He was
his own
already.
thing.
He was already.
Yeah.
Man, I went to that game yesterday. Look, when you go to baseball games and you sit down front, I don't know what. Like, I did not realize how thick he was. Like, he was like Quentin Nelson in the lower body, man. And it was coming out 99 easy.
Yeah, America could have used that.
Yeah, we could.
America could have used that.
Nice.
Thanks a lot, Boris.
How'd the Slam Diego Padres do yesterday?
Got their asses kicked.
Tough, buddy. That was tough, buddy. Yeah, we were facing the wrong Cy Young Award winner, apparently.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. That was a tough first inning. We had a guy who's never played baseball before at center field. Ladies and gentlemen.
O'Neal Cruz.
That's Dan Jeremiah. That's Dan Jeremiah. Hope everybody liked him.
Uncalled for.
I hope everybody really enjoyed his time on the show.
That was pretty good.
Brought that thing home.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect timing.
What if that would have been O'Neal Cruz?
Yeah. Well, fuck you, Dana Jeremiah.
That would have been amazing if we would have been able to pull that off. AJ, I'm telling you, it's stunning. It is stunning.
What's that?
You know.
They're calling him Spray J Hawk on the internet.
Spray J Hawk.
Spray J Hawk.
That's awesome. The internet's the greatest.
Genius.
You look good, bub. You do look good. I like that. I like what you're doing. You know, there's another meme that was going around about sunscreen. You know, that whole thing. I don't know if you got into that whole conversation yet.
No. What was happening with what?
Same conversation as spray tan, kind of. Like what's in it, what is.
Oh, I mean, everyone says everything gives you cancer. That's cool. Just do it. Live your life.
Well, I like that.
No matter what, you're wrong. So just enjoy your life.
Just live your life.
No, actually, if you're properly hydrated, you won't get sunburn. Well, pal, I got some albino skin that'll speak otherwise because I'm very hydrated.
Me too. I'm peeing all the time, brother, and that thing is light yellow, very light yellow, and I turn lobster quick, and it hurts. If we can figure that whole thing out, but I think I get burned with sunscreen on too, is what I realized.
Yeah.
What SPF you using?
You got to reapply like every
burnt
25
with
minutes.
sunscreen on?
50.
All the time.
I think that's a you problem, pal.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't matter. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a Gold Glove winner, a man that we fell in love with during WBC because he did his country proud.
Yes, he did.
On the diamond. Ladies and gentlemen, center fielder for the Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong.
PCA.
Good clap, PCA. How we doing?
Oh, I'm great. I was wondering if my intro was going to be about the albino skin and all that stuff, but I could have joined in on that conversation real easily.
Okay, you ever spray tan? You ever spray tan before?
Come on, man. What would I look like with a spray tan?
Right there. Yeah. Look right on the screen. We got it. We got a little research being done. Congrats on the new deal, brother. Congrats on the new deal.
Oh.
Obviously, well-earned, well-deserved. Such a storied franchise in the Chicago Cubs. To be the leader of that group, or perceived as the leader of the group, is obviously a huge honor. What's it like being the guy that you are now at this stage of your career? When a big deal like this comes, there's obviously a little bit more pressure, obviously a little bit more notoriety, but I would assume you're wearing that well in Chicago. And how do you feel at this stage?
Oh, man. I mean, I feel I feel good. I feel like I still got to go compete every day, and I don't know if the money really changes that. But man, I love being here, and I love representing this city. We got a really good group too. So the Nico news is about as good as it gets, and I'm following his lead, frankly, for the next 6 years, learning how to lead from him.
I love that. You got Dansby over there too, which is also a friend of the program, has had massive success in the past. It's not the greatest opening day for you guys, and I'm new to the baseball, PCA. Okay, I'm new to the baseball. Got a hit off Clayton Kershaw, but I'm new to baseball. I'm new to baseball. Opening day, you got 161 more games. I looked at the score there. You guys kind of got your shit kicked yesterday, it looked like. The Pittsburgh Pirates, we got our asses kicked yesterday. Do I need to just give up? That's just one of 162 is the mindset? Like, you guys fail so much, it feels like you mentally have to deal with it more often than anybody else. But when opening day goes like that, what is the mentality going forward? And when you hit a lull in the season, how do you guys kind of fight through that shit?
Well, I mean, the 161, having that left is kind of the easiest way to look at yesterday. There's going to be more of those games too. Is the funny part, the funny not so funny part. I mean, that shit just happens. Like, the wind is howling in at 20 miles an hour, and these guys are finding a way to put the ball out of the park, and they swung the shit out of it. So, like, opening day is opening day, and I think it's just nice to get everybody back in the stands and us on the field. So that's what that is. But you definitely hit that wall in July and August when you're looking at your record and you're like, oh my God, I've played 120 games already. We still got 40 to go. Like, it's a constant battle with the failure. But that's what I'm learning right now, is just how to come out of that on top day in, day out.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. Yeah, seemingly that's why you're getting paid all the money, and that's why at the top you don't like failure. But baseball, naturally, I think, is a failure sport because you guys are walking in there and you're getting exposed too, and embarrassed. While you're doing that, like Judge, I don't know, your Merrick's teammate, he struck out 4 times. That has to be the most humbling thing of all time, as everybody is celebrating that's happening, that is around you, and then you guys are just expecting, yep. Get your ass out there tomorrow. We got another 35,000 people that want to watch you do that again. Yeah. That's a mental toughness that I don't know if I'd be able to get through. So I have massive respect for that out of you baseball players. I just want to let you know.
Well, we appreciate the acknowledgement for sure.
No problem. I'd look in the mirror, and the things I would be saying to that guy, oh my God, would not be able to survive the life. I don't think I'd be able to put myself through it, especially with what you guys do. Hey, we needed to win that fucking World Baseball Classic, Pete.
He tried. He did everything he could.
Telling me, yeah, that was a bummer. That was a big bummer. I don't know if I'm quite over that yet, but
actually, tell me about it a little bit, PCA here, because I was down at the Ponche game there. Okay, I was down there at Ponche, Venezuela. I was in the middle of it. Okay, so I got to experience that. That environment, that vibe was outrageous. And I know opening day also huge, but that has to be something that's interesting at the beginning of your season to experience. And then bang, we're into this. Has that been a little bit of a mental thing? A little bit of, I don't want to say hangover, but certainly an emotional dump potentially?
Yeah, Breggy and I were talking about that actually, like coming back and having to play, not having to play, I get to do this shit, but like.
Yes.
But the spring training, the return to spring training, and, in my first game's a night game against the Cincinnati Reds and Sloan Park, and Sloan Park's great. The Cubbies do a great job of putting spring training games together, but man, like the noise, the energy, all that stuff that is not always tangible, that like you could really feel, I'm sure, being in the crowd, and then obviously being in the dugout, being in the box, definitely a bit of like an emotional letdown in a way.
I had it
just because
I was walking outside, they were Ponche in my face. Okay, Pete?
Yeah.
I was there with you guys. I was down in the dumps.
I went to sleep hearing that. That was, I mean, but that's so cool. Like, that's the coolest part about the WBC is, like, you see how these other countries' fans just show up and they support with some real passion. It could be a 3-0 fucking count in the first inning and they're all on their feet cheering, clapping, chanting, all that stuff.
It was
So,
incredible. I'm happy to hear you guys loved it as well, because that sounds good for future WBCs as a whole. We know you got a negotiation that's going on, not you directly, but baseball has a lot going on. It felt really cool to watch this World Baseball Classic and feel like everybody really wanted to win it. That was a good thing. I think baseball is headed in the right direction, and next time we're going to win that thing. Go ahead, AJ.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, hey, you mentioned that you have a good group there in the clubhouse, and the guys get along. I guess how important is that culture? I think baseball, you have so much more downtime than a lot of other professional sports where you're just hanging out in the clubhouse together before, after games, all that stuff. I guess what's it like for you right now? And think about all the different backgrounds guys come from, the different languages spoken in the major leagues. I guess what is it like in that clubhouse for you guys?
Man, I mean, well, I think the group you got is the most important thing, just because you're together for however many days out of the year. And we spend all our time in the clubhouse. So, like, we're here if it's a night game, we're here for 6 hours before the game ever starts. And, like, you get a lot of time to get to know people. But it's everybody from myself and guys like Dansby to the clubhouse staff. Like, I've gotten to know those guys really well. And, like, they're here today grinding, getting ready for our road trip coming up. And you definitely see that everybody is integral to the success, like when travel's easy, guys are probably sleeping better. And, like there's everybody in here makes this shit run. So like the group is huge. And then, you spend a ton of time with them at the park, and you end up wanting to spend more time with them off the field as well. So, but I mean, we got a lot of different languages in here. We got Japanese and Spanish. And
How's your Japanese? Pretty good. Ohio, domo arigato.
Non-existent, man. Like,
what about Spanish?
Spanish is not bad. I understand more than I speak. My Duolingo streak ended like 100 days ago, so I got to get back on that.
Get back in there. Let's talk about the Japanese a little bit. Are you going? So you walk up, hello, and you go right to translator. I need you to tell them, and then you do that. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Seiya and I think, have created our own little dialogue that works for us, just because we've been together for almost 4 years now. So like Seiya and I think we have that connection. Shota's English is actually very good. So
Mike Yamanaga.
Yeah, Mike. Sorry, Mike. The second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your guys' culture is awesome because of how many different languages in the different countries that are involved. Like hockey obviously has its own. Baseball has its own. Football obviously very like different parts of America. So it's baseball has been cool to learn about. And I learned what strikeout or punch out means in Spanish. Ponche. And I'm never, ever, ever going to forget that. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Pete, I have a question. Obviously, you're only 24, All-Star at 23, Gold Glove at 23. So you've had incredible success at a young age already. But it feels like you're not the only one. Like, obviously, Roman Anthony, your WBC teammate, is young and awesome. McGonigal for the Tigers had 4 hits yesterday. DeLauder had 2 home runs for Cleveland yesterday. There was a Weatherholt for the Cardinals, had a home run yesterday. There's a lot of young
Pittsburgh boy.
Yes, he is Pittsburgh boy from Mars, same school as Bednar. Paul obviously didn't have the greatest day yesterday, but he's absolute stud. This new generation and all these young kids having so much success. Why do you think that is? Because it feels like for a while in the MLB, like you had to be 27, 28 before you actually like hit your prime.
Yeah, well, I think that might be the thing, is like, I don't know if you ever had to be like totally ready to play up here. I think there's a lot of value in getting called up at a young age. And instead of maybe like finding your footing in the minor leagues and like really, seeing a lot of success in the minor leagues, like I think I've gained a lot more from failing up in the big leagues. Like, it hasn't been the easiest road to start my career, but then you find a way. And then you're
it's the
also
old dropped in the deep end thing, dropped in the deep end.
Absolutely. Just take the training wheels off and let them go. Like, I think that not everybody can do that, but you mentioned McGonigal and Roman and whoever else. Like, I think those guys are all very capable of finding success very quickly in the big leagues, and then I think that's just it's even better that they can then fail at the highest level as well. Like, I think that's probably the most important thing. But not everybody is ready to be up here and do what Roman's doing, what Paul did and will be doing. So that's a tricky question, but guys are just getting so much better so young, and probably in the way that they're training, and they're all getting used to how guys are starting to throw, and I don't know.
How old are you?
Crazy sport we play. 24. I just turned 24 a couple days ago.
You talk. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We told you happy birthday. All right, last question for the birthday boy here. Ponche, go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, PCA, first and foremost, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that Little Big League is one of my favorite movies of all time. So next time you see your mom, just tell her that I appreciate that she used to keep Bill Haywood accountable when he was starting to turn into a piece of shit when the Twins started winning. But being from California and playing these, and I know you played in like Des Moines, so it's not completely foreign, but playing these March and April games in Chicago, like we saw the weather yesterday. Chicago itself, it's 40 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds, and then you have all these, the suburbs where it's 85 and sunny. Like, how difficult is it playing day in and day out when it's just cold as shit? You're getting jammed all the time. Like, are you kind of just waiting, like, hey, just get me to May, get me to the summer when I feel like I can really heat up and get going?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Last year there was a lot of that for sure. Like last year it was tough to get used to that kind of weather, like maybe smacking into the wall, like just it's I think I have more fear about it before the game, and then like adrenaline kind of kicks in and I'm fine. I forget about it. But you're definitely waiting on the sun to come out and the ivy to grow back. Whenever the ivy starts growing back, you know that we're getting a little hotter. But gosh, I don't know if anything could prepare for the elements at Wrigley, if I'm being quite honest. Like, you just gotta find a way to adapt real quick.
You're the man. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye. Perfect.
Yep. Killed it.
You just did great. We're still alive.
PCA.
We're still alive. We're still alive.
Thank you.
We are still live. We're just not on TV anymore. We're just on the internet now. Okay?
Okay.
And you saw the countdown clock, and good timing, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
Great
we're fucking
eyes.
talking. Yeah,
Great
great
eyes.
eyes. Good timing in this entire thing. I feel like that's what we needed at Team USA, When you're told you're not playing, okay?
Yeah.
Coming off hitting 2 homers.
Yeah. Bombs.
Are you saying, hey, I'm seeing it? Yeah, but against this pitcher you have, but fucking right now, I'm seeing it right now. Is there that conversation happening? Is that happening or what's going on? We love D-Row. We love D-Row.
Sure.
I think I've supported D-Row publicly more than anybody. So I would like that to be known. I know privately he's got a lot, at least not in the baseball world. I love D-Row. In the national anthem for that fucking championship, the way he looked, and the way he looks on TV, I'm watching the show every day. Mm-hmm. This guy's unbelievable. But whenever you find out that you are, first of all, seeing the ball, whenever you find out while you're in the middle of seeing the ball pretty well, which I assume is something that kind of either, I don't want to say comes and goes, but in a season, you never know when it's going to really start. And then you're told you're not playing a championship game. What is the thought there? Because I want to let you know, we put in a fucking anytime home run on already. We fucking already had one in.
Before the lineup came out.
And then we found out, put your fucking head down. We need you to fight a little bit more in the club. So whenever that lineup came out, we were fucked. Like 10 of us. Yeah. 10 of us had it. We're like, we know this guy's going to do it. And then we had to change everything. And then DraftKings was like, actually, we will. This will be okay. You'll be good or whatever, even though you got in that bat later. So how do you take that? Because it's like an all-star game, I guess.
Yeah, well, at first, just being a competitor, I'm like, fuck. Like, I'd love to be able to change that, but then it's about understanding who's playing center field for me, and it's Buck, and like that's one of the most talented players I've ever seen in my entire life. So that was the beauty of playing on a team like that, where it is all these all-stars and it's like Buck could go do it at any time. And I think he got put in a pretty shitty situation too, getting hit in that first game and then having to take some time. Like, he couldn't find his rhythm either, I'm sure. And it was all just kind of I don't know actually. But
what you're saying is, I was a good teammate. Buck's a great player. Yeah. Yes, I was seeing it. I was not happy. Yeah.
Buck is the man. DeRosa has the managers have so much to deal with and think about before the game, during the game, like lineups, matchups, whatever you want to say. Like, immediately I'm pissed off that I'm not playing. I'm pissed off I can't contribute right away. But then it's like, all right, well, you know you're going to get in there at some point. Like there's going to be a righty that comes in. You're going to be off the bench as a bat and be ready for that. And if you're not, then that's when you're doing everybody else a disservice and yourself. Like grow up, deal with it. Fucking get ready to support your boys and then get ready to take it at bat when your name's called.
We love you, dude.
Yeah.
24 years old. We'll see you at the next WBC, too.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck the rest of the way. We can't thank you enough for taking the time. And as soon as you got into the circle, what's it called?
Batter's box?
The on deck.
On deck circle?
On deck circle thing in front of us. We were very boozed up at the time. We all stood up immediately. Yeah! They opened our app, tried to get in there to put an anytime home run. Obviously, we're in Florida. Can't have it. So just know that you affected our entire day and how much we love baseball. So we appreciate the hell out of you.
Hey, thank you for that. I really appreciate that, too.
We thought you heard us. Turns out you didn't.
Nope.
Yeah,
BCA.
So loud. He's right there.
We're
He's
screaming.
right there.
Thought he was going to turn around.
As soon as he stepped up into the thing and you got in there, literally, Connor and Fox were over here. They huge look over.
Oh, yeah.
We stayed up immediately. PCA! We fucking need it now. Need it, bud. Need it. Good to see you. And then Connor immediately goes, nice to see you so late in the game.
Yeah, fucking A. I mean, about time. Well, I mean, that's the thing, too.
He was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
He's great.
I'm a big PCA fan. Chicago Cubs know what they're doing up there.
They got to go one.
Yeah, seems like they got to go. All right, let's take a break. And we'll wrap up this beautiful week on this Feel Good Friday with Jordan Reed, next generation of ESPN NFL draft coverage, man.
Let's go.
This man has come up to me every time he has seen me and said, I want to be on the show. He has hustled his way onto this particular program, which I respect. But also, I think they got a daily draft show that he's on. Like, I think he is, and this guy has worked his ass off to make it happen. So I think we should pay it off.
Hell yeah.
I think we should pay it off. Friday with Jordan Reed.
Boom.
3 things. Jordan Threed. We need 3 things this week that happened that he thinks are the biggest to what's going to happen on draft night. Let's assume that this is maybe a weekly thing.
Okay.
I like that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
TBD.
No pressure. What's he got to do?
Good luck.
What's he got to do to make it a weekly thing, you think?
Speak with your
fucking crush.
I fucking need 3 good things. And even if they're not good things, I just need them delivered in a way
Little panache.
that we can have a good time.
Speak with your chest.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that is exactly.
Put down, Dan.
Good.
No. We don't need that. I think this guy's got it, though. I mean, the courage, the timing in which he has walked up to me. It was like, bathroom, 3 minutes, get back to show. Clearly in rush. Clear, ears in. So I can do the whole,
Can't
hear, which I can't. But also, I got about 45 seconds until we're back live right now, the way this thing's set up. I apologize. Just quick. Good to see you again, man. And I was like, I like that. Thank you for being like, And then afterwards, conversation. And then next part, I'm like, I fucking like the way this guy's operate. Let's see. We shall see. AJ, it's a brand new you.
I think it's going to be great.
We might have a brand new seg. AJ, you're blending in with the library.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's cedar, I think.
Yeah.
Might need a new stain.
Might be cherry. I think it's cherry.
Cherry?
Gumpy loved that one.
Gumpy's a big spray tanner too, Gumpy.
I'll hit the red light.
Yeah, he's not scared to get a little tan in there. Nick, did you ever do a spray tan?
Once.
I think I forced people to do them a couple times.
Yeah.
I was really into them.
Every vacation.
What do you mean? You forced him to go with you and get one, you mean?
No, just because people would always judge. It's like espresso martini conversations,
Yeah.
Everybody judges immediately. And it's like, hey, if I was to go to a warm climate for this event, I'm going to become this color, okay, day 1. And I'm going to be there day 2 still, day 3. So I'm going to get that color, but I'm going to at least have a little bit of a tan. So I'd go spray myself the morning of normally. I try to stay still as possible for an hour and a half, 2 hours, let that thing settle in. Then you hop in the shower, just dye your entire bath. And I get out there, still get red, still kind of half-baked though. Didn't look too terrible when I was out there. Because if I just go out to a sun place, we haven't had sun in 6 months.
True.
I mean, I'm fucking Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Just like that. Boom. You know what I mean, AJ? So then I talk to other people. They'd be like in Pittsburgh, and they're like, oh, we're going down to Florida for something. I'm like, Get you a spray tan. I'm not doing that. I'm fucking getting a spray tan. Spread your cheeks in there, too.
Wash it out.
Oh, yeah. Spray your cheeks.
I don't need to do that.
Yeah, you did. You bend over and grab your ankles.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Then people don't know if it's fake or real if you really get push comes to shove.
That's a good point.
We know you did
Okay.
everything.
Push
What are they doing for your dong? What are you doing? You lifting your balls up? Everything?
Push comes to shove. You never know, dude. Somebody might say, oh, I want to know if that's fake.
I sure hope it wasn't an individual spraying. If you're bending over spreading your cheeks for them, that's a tough gig for that person.
I've actually, the spray person, only one time in my entire life. It was an interesting thing. It was like a business thing that they were trying to push. The machine's got it. You got 6. You walk in there.
I don't even know where a machine is. I've already had the person.
So you didn't
spray.
get your.
Dude, right here. And then guess what? You flip that shit. Bang.
Suntan City.
And then what? It tells you bend, grab your ankles and spread your cheeks.
You just kind of do it naturally there. Kind of feel it.
Like AQ. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it.
No, he's spread.
Right there.
That's good. I'd go see AQ in Arizona. I'm going to go get a spray tan. So me and AQ don't look like two guys that just came out of the North Pole with our red faces. All right. On the other side, we got the 3 big things that happened in Jordan Reed's eyes.
That's right.
That will affect the NFL draft April 23rd.
Hell yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend, something nice might change their life. Take 5. Jack, you got anything to say to the team here?
Oh, man, you guys keep crushing and firing everybody up. It's bigger than you guys, and you guys are the friggin' best.
Boom.
Thank you, Jack.
That's amazing.
Yes.
God damn, I needed that.
I got back in shape. I was like the best shape of my life. I felt like I just throw people through walls. Oh, shit. What's happening? What is this?
What the fuck is this?
We interrupt your regular programming with breaking news.
We have reports of a UAP approaching Indianapolis. They have messaged to officials they are coming to take over the world.
Government agencies have been alerted that they plan to land and activate Earth's Armageddon switch.
This is literally the scariest situation imaginable, a true doomsday scenario. Please stay calm, seek shelter immediately, and pray to whatever God or higher power you believe in.
What is that?
What? Landed here?
I think Indianapolis. What? So that can't be.
We gotta go find these motherfuckers.
Yeah?
That's what we need to do.
I think it sounds like something you should do. Jack Carr, yeah. I don't know. We need to.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Yeah, let's. Fuck these pieces of shit.
Let's get them.
Oh, there it is. That motherfucker. It's here. It's here.
It's the button.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Hey, do you have a rifle?
No, I got something better. Jack, I've been saving this.
What?
Yeah.
What is this thing?
What?
Ask for a rifle. What is this?
Yeah, it kills aliens. Yeah, I bought it online, deep web.
That's certainly convenient for us. All right, here we go. Hey, will you be my spotter?
Oh my God, it'd be my honor. Let's go kill these motherfuckers.
Let's do this.
Where are they?
I don't know. I think they're coming. Looks like they might be coming from right over here.
Yeah, looks like I see their fucking ship. Let's get them. They're not gonna get to that button, Jack.
Nope, they will not get to that button.
Is that one of them? Yeah. Black helmet, Carhartt khaki. He's walking right at you. Go ahead and pep. Yep. That's it, Jack Carr. That's it, Jack Carr. You killed that son of a bitch. Oh, there's another one. He looks the exact same, a little taller, a little bit more awkward. A little more awkward? Yeah, he's in the same spot, though. Go ahead and get him. Go ahead. Yeah, there he is. Good hit, Jack Carr.
Oh, two down.
2 dead aliens. Not on our watch. Oh, he came down backwards. This one's showing you his back. No respect. No respect. Kind of a disrespectful alien here as he drags his carcass around. Looks different. Oh, all three of them stacked up. Nice. Jack Carr slaying aliens. Oh, there's one more. It's a big one.
Oh, he looks like an eater.
He is an eater.
Oh, man.
This must be their supreme commander. Look at the size. He's looking at you, Jack. He's coming at you, Jack. He's coming at us, Jack. Get his big ass, Jack. Boom, boom. This guy's trying to take down our planet. Go the fuck out. That's it, Jack Carr. Go back to where you came from, you sack of shit! Hey, good work, dude. Amazing. That was awesome. I mean, they were gonna fucking come in here. I mean, they just popped up and they just shot him right in the fucking head.
I don't know. Good thing we saw that newscast when we did.
Well, that's why they do the live alert. I don't know. Did we know that? That's still.
I feel like that should have been disclosed when we got this place.
The legit. Let's go in and talk to the boys.
Amazing, let's do it.
What a life you live.
Man, I'm just glad you had this rifle and I had those binos. What are the odds of that? I mean,
I could see them.
Good thing I carry those with me everywhere I go.
The big one at the end really ate some fucking pain.
Yeah, I feel like he stopped somewhere on the way in for a snack.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Are we good?
What do you think, boys? Fucking Jack Carr's here. If that's not enough reason to buy his new book, I don't know what is. Fucker just saved the earth. And nobody would have known about it if it didn't just so happen to happen right here with all these cameras. Thank you, Jack Carr. Thank you, Jack Carr.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
you, guys.
Three-time world saver Jack Carr has done it again. We're all mind blown that a global attack always seemingly happens when Jack Carr comes to the Thunderdome. But boy, we're thankful he's always there to save us all. On that note, Jack Carr's new book, Cry Havoc, is available now. It's a Vietnam-era thriller and the 8th installment of the multiple-time New York Times best-selling series Terminal List. Hell yeah, Jack Carr. Hell yeah.
Obviously, last year, this segment became a little bit of a runaway. $1.7 million out the door for good causes and a great college kids.
That's awesome.
Have you ever kicked before?
Yes.
What do you mean you've kicked? Hold on, I was told you have never kicked before. I feel like I've been bamboozled a little bit here. You have kicked before?
My brother's a kicker, so every once in a while I go kick with him for fun.
Okay. Okay. We'll make it $250,000 for you, Logan, to start this season. Anything to say here to Logan as he tries to win $250,000?
After that hand gesture, breathe and close your eyes.
Okay, he doesn't want you to win. I do. So do these people. Oh,
let's go.
Logan, Herbstring will be holding for you.
Look, by the way, this is
tough terrain.
Tough.
This is real Ohio here. Glenn, if you want to come over this way, we'll put a little extra pressure on him. You got Pete running around. You got the mascots staring you down. They don't want you to win. Glenn doesn't want you to win. Peter is taking a dump in the middle of the field goal kicking contest. Sniff it in, Logan. That's Peter's manure. Now, through manure, great things grow. Will Peter's poop grow you $250,000? You only have one kick. I don't care how loud they chant for a re-kick. You only have one kick, Logan. Good luck, sir. 33 yards. Kicking is easy, everybody says. Let's find out.
Ready?
Glenn, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to give you.
What are your thoughts?
This is really tough.
Say, I think that poop was a bad omen.
Yeah, I mean, Pete just pooped right in your face.
I can't believe we don't have turf.
Well, we're in Ohio. This is a football state. You got to be tough. Logan from Ohio, sophomore in business finance. Does he win $250,000? What's the poop? What's the poop? That's what I'm talking about. Jeez. Logan, congratulations. I'll tell you what. $250,000 week one of the college football season. Thank you for showing up. I'm proud of you. How do you feel, buddy?
I feel amazing right now. That was amazing.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. You definitely stepped in Peter's poop during your celebration, but who cares? Buy yourself some new shoes from Glenn Powell, Kirk Herbst, and Stanford Steve. Back to you, Reese. What a start. That was great. What a start.
That's so stupid. That's crazy. I'm nice. You got to do that. And also take us off the fucking team. We do not deserve to do that.
They all commit and love what's going on in that weight room. They all commit and love what Jim Harbaugh's preaching. And everybody in the building's happy. Everybody's like excited to be there.
First row. Mark pressure in the first row. Second row is up here.
It is infectious what they got going on. And how many owners are spending $300 million on a new facility just for the practice facility?
This is Butler Birdies. Wow!
Oh my God! Oh shit!
In the bunker.
Great shot. But then for them to do it upright for the last couple, it's like, look out for the Chargers, dude. Look out for the Chargers.
Coach. Hey, we got a gift for you. Here we go. Okay, so we missed your birthday, we missed Christmas. We couldn't.
Whoa, look at that.
Your perspective on high five is one of the greatest things we've ever seen.
So all-time great invention. I love the high five. Yeah, give each other a high five.
Boom!
Bam!
Boom!
Bam!
Boom! Boom!
Oh my God!
Wow! Boom!
So we wanted to make you basically something that you could high five. My dad made this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
he is talented.
Yeah, boom.
Keep that feeling.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, boom, boom. And we tested it. I think you can get a pretty good pop if you need. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Obviously, national champion, Michigan man, and greatest high five.
Yeah.
Because of what you brought for the high five world.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to give a handshake to that particular high five trophy. Did break the hand off. We had to put it back on.
Where you go handshake?
Oh no! Oh no!
There we go.
We have so much respect for you.
You guys just roll deep. This would be entourage level, wouldn't it?
To be honest, we didn't know we were going to be able to get 11 people in here, and then we pulled up and said, you have 11.
That's where it should be. Should roll 11.
Yeah. Always start 11. You're right. You're the best. You're the best. I mean, wow, it looks like a lot of highlights against one particular team.
They played more than one game. Why do they have all these TVs for one game?
Imposing our will.
This sucks.
Party in the back. No one.
We mean no one.
No one. How beats the Hut, but this might be close.
I love that Chargers team even more now.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Sweet 16 Feel Good Friday, March 27, 2026. Hour 3 of the program begins now. Sport are the greatest. That's AJ Hawk with a phenomenal spray tan. In that house in which he is broadcasting from is a college football national championship, a Lombardi trophy, and a little flyer that says you won your matchup in the Ryder Cup. This guy's former president of the state of Ohio, and now he has found his most handsome form as he gets ready to head to the sun. That's AJ Hawk, the legend.
Baby Hawk.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you. I got to give credit to Rob Riggle. He was my teammate in the Ryder Cup match, and Rob played very well. He's a big reason we won.
And Rob's caddy.
Cammy, she's the best. Yeah, she's a professional golfer, so yes, she helped us a bunch.
She helps out a lot, I think, during those rounds of golf. Rob Riggle, obviously, his energy is fantastic throughout the entirety. And you two together, American Power, taking on Europe in a Ryder Cup, we knew Edens would get the job done. The Talks of Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Tony's boy, he started out real hot yesterday for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, he's the 14th player ever to reach base four times on opening day, which, you know, if you're doing the numbers, which we do here, just crunching them real quick. Yeah, 9 of the first 13 players to ever do that were Hall of Famers.
Ballpark. Beautiful.
So it does look. Can you just shut up for a second? So, yeah, it looks like Roman Anthony's going to be a Hall of Famer. And not to mention, he also hit a baseball 110 miles an hour, damn near broke a guy's wrist on day one. So, and this is where it happened. Actually, nailed this guy so hard, guy couldn't.
He
even
walked off
believe
the
it.
diamond. I didn't. He literally said, "You know what? Nope.
Yeah,
I'm not doing baseball.
Fuck this. I'm done.
Tony's too good.
I'm not doing baseball anymore." That hurt so bad. I'm getting into playing catch, or as Connor and only Connor calls it, skipping a stone.
Yeah, skipping stone, baby.
That is.
All right. That is captivating. It is captivating.
We skip stone and we throw darts around here now, bitch.
And we don't throw darts around here, but we do watch too much of it. And at that point, listen, Gout guy, disgusting performance yesterday.
Come on, Johnny. Yeah. Need you to show up more, Johnny Clayton.
Fall down or what?
No, basically, yeah.
Felt
I couldn't
better.
even see it. I think they. I'm not getting back.
He
into
looked
it.
a little weathered. He looked a little weathered yesterday, to be fair.
He got used to
when we got the
playing.
close-up view when he was going to grab the dart on the board, he wasn't looking too
Yeah, but these guys just don't. They don't treat themselves or act like professional. From my
That's how
understanding,
professional dart players do it.
You were around the PBA. It's very similar to that, okay? Except they don't have as many scandals because these darts guys, they live like freaking rock stars.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not
why
getting in
Johnny
trouble.
Clayton wasn't good last night, because he usually shows up and he's like almost pissed drunk. He's had like 15 pints.
I don't
already.
think that's true.
Last night,
It looks like it. He got used to the lean of the gout so he had to change his stance back to normal.
Whatever. We're skipping stone, as Connor says around here. We're playing catch. I'm finding my arm angle. Okay, I'm a sidearm guy, by the way. It's a lot of fun just kind of catch that thing, turn that thing, throw that thing. It's been a good time around here, to be honest. That's me skipping
the
stone.
stone. Skipping the stone,
And I'll
guy.
tell you what, me trying to, because I never played baseball, me learning how to trust that mitt has become a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, trying to trust the mitt. Because catching it in between your pointer finger and your thumb is like a pretty weird.
Like a crab.
That's just like a weird thing if football. Yeah. Soccer ball even. Every other ball is like it. So now I'm catching it up in here, you know. Got one right in the palm the other day.
It can hurt.
Fuck that.
Put a glove on underneath it. Put a glove underneath the glove. That helps a little bit.
Okay, 2 condoms. Nonetheless, it's still. And then I thought about this 110. That was just when we were having a little.
Yeah.
Turning around.
Little stone skip.
And then reverse. You turn that thing back the other way, and then I go snag. Well, hey, boom, and it's like, oh my god, I basically barehanded that thing.
Yeah.
And that guy did that to a Tony's boy line drive yesterday. Got back in there though, right? They were doing.
Yeah, he stayed in. He's a tough son of a bitch, actually. Much respect to that guy, but it didn't matter. Crochet shoved 8 of those guys. He actually struck out one last batter with the bases loaded, and I think he said, like, let's go, pussy, or something like that, which they caught
Sit down.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
the Sox
we're
have
not
some-
lip readers, but it does feel like the Boston Red Sox got a lot of moxie. They got a lot of attitude.
They got a double hump at second base when they get there.
And what happened with Cincinnati? I heard there was good times by the Boston Red Sox fans in Cincinnati last night.
Yeah, you could say Boston owns Cincinnati now. I believe no one's showing up tomorrow because already the Red Legs fans are giving up because they freaking stink.
AJ, is that real? Because I didn't hear that at all about the Reds fans. I didn't hear any.
No, I mean, I know there was some shenanigans after the game from what I saw in pictures outside. Yeah, there was.
Is the clock?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Like I should. That's what my first thought was. They better build a barricade around that clock of humans. Like what happened? What is this?
That's opening day, baby.
It's just after the game, like the fans spilled out and started fighting, or what?
I don't know. Ohio and Massachusetts together. I mean,
there's a chance.
There's a chance that happens, but we hope everybody's okay. Hope the clock's okay.
Yep.
And shout out to the Red Sox doing their thing. Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Is there percentages on teams for this Sweet 16 thing? Do we need to read into that as much? We haven't done much of the public betting conversation around March Madness, but the favorites have been winning, so we assume that the public betting has been hitting pretty well.
Yeah, it's more of a football thing. I mean, you can look at it in things like this. Like for instance, St. John's and Duke, 65% is on St. John's, which is not a surprise. They are, the sweet darling of a dog in this round. If you look, Bama is only getting 48% at the plus 9.5, which is kind of surprising. It's like St. John's is a darling, Michigan's a darling. I would assume UConn's getting the money in that one, and then Iowa State in that one as well. But I don't pay attention to that as much. Football season is more important.
All right, well, we'll continue to hit every single college basketball Sweet 16 pick. Did you know that?
You hit all of them?
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Well, I didn't.
Like the 1869 Reds, you went undefeated yet last night?
Yeah.
57-0, buddy. 57-0. That's what
Congrats.
I did. Yeah, thank
Man,
you.
I underestimated Arizona, I guess. I really did.
Koa Pete feels like he's a guy, and then they got a bunch of older guys. Illinois, that team looks awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that team to
Peja's boy, they were showing Peja in the stands. That was awesome.
So I was at Texas down there watching their basketball team whenever he was on a visit, and everybody was talking about it like this is the one. This could be the one here. Yeah, he's tall, he's athletic, and obviously his dad has his basketball IQ through the roof. And then you watch that shit, and it's like, wow, Illinois might go win this entire thing. Good for Illinois. Congrats to them. Duke has a chance to continue an incredible ride. And, we got a chance to talk to Coach K a couple different times, him talking about Shire as if he's one of the ones. Coach K's been talking about a lot of the great coaches, and he's been talking about Shire as if Shire is one of the great coaches. Going to have to win a national championship.
That's no doubt.
And obviously there's a lot of those around. We can't wait to watch Sweet 16. Congrats to all the lads for making it, and we can't wait to see who ends up on top. And also, we can't wait to see who wins the super duper duper Otter Crown.
Yeah.
And we know West Virginia's been preparing for that. We know the Toronto Blue Jays are certainly getting buzzed in. And we know the Minnesota Gophers are potentially thinking about Baylor all day and all night. Oklahoma and Colorado are going to have to do battle, but this one's the Mountaineers.
Yep.
And,
Stanford favored by 1.5.
That tracks.
By who? By who?
The Crown.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Crown just openly says, we don't know West Virginia men's basketball.
Could be a team ride on West Virginia.
That's where
Don't do that.
Russ Hodge wants to be there, though.
Yeah.
Like, he likes being the underdog.
Stop. Okay? This is the weekend of the Final Four. Fuck this thing. Either move it way the fuck up, don't do it at all. This is bullshit.
What? West Virginia's about to win the Otter Crown.
That's great.
Couldn't agree more.
Who the fuck cares? Are you kidding me?
West Virginia's about to
We're
win.
just gonna. Hey, you know what? Let's start another basketball tournament with all these dog shit teams who weren't good enough to make the tournament. Wait a minute. Let's do it during the weekend of the Final Four. It was their goal. Like, hey, should we see if 150 people watch this thing if we put it on TV?
Oh, wait a minute.
What the fuck are we doing, Mom?
No, yeah. I understand you want to see this type of basketball when there's nothing else on. I understand you want to see the West Virginia Mountaineers when there's nothing else on.
Maybe not even.
What?
Maybe not even.
Not even see them play Stanford? Yeah, right. We're going to miss out on that. Then they got the Blue Jays. You think we're going to miss out on that opportunity?
What have these
We
guys?
need to slide to the middle of the week.
What have these guys been doing? They didn't make the tournament, so all these guys just have to keep
All eyes on the Otter Crown.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm sure they have full squads too.
But these teams are all used to traveling to the Final Four, so they've been playing and being,
You're
what I
right.
mean, mentally
Right.
for the entire time. Don't you worry about the Otter Crown. We know who's taking that home.
The greedy corporate fat cats who think we need to fucking do this thing.
This is one of those things, though, where it feels like people aren't in a room when decisions are made that might know what sport is. Like Final Fours that weekend?
Fuck them. No one cares about those games. Let's play our
Tip-off's got to
games.
be earlier, right? A tip-off, there's no way they're going head-to-head.
Yeah, 10:30. Oh, this is PST. Ooh.
Yeah, so one.
No, they're going heads up. Let's do
1:30.
it. Let's do it. Fuck the Final Four.
5
We'll
Pacific,
outrank them.
8 Eastern.
They're Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Wednesday, we're good.
It's also if they lose.
Saturday, Sunday of fun. All right.
If
get
you
out of here.
lose the other crowd too, you're just set up for. You could even win the other fucking crowd. What are you talking about?
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is not about the crown or the Otter Crown. It's about the draft, which is obviously an evening of celebration of dreams coming true. Obviously, with NIL, it's a little bit different because guys are earning life-changing money earlier than that. But to live a dream of being a professional football player and changing the trajectory of your entire family tree is a huge night. The draft is a huge, important life moment for all of us. AJ went number 5.
Mm-hmm. 5.
Old CBA.
Yeah.
So much money.
How you force that spray tan?
Guaranteed, yeah. The whole fucking thing. I want every dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it down. I want every fucking dollar. That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
All the way to pick 222, where I'm buying a Cadillac Escalade and almost getting that thing repoed. Okay, so it's a little bit different. But I will remember that weekend forever, as will everybody that gets drafted this upcoming April in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the next generation of draft coverage for ESPN, Jordan Reed.
Yeah, Jordan!
Jordan, thank you for waiting. Obviously, we're a little bit delayed, but we are excited to wrap up this week's show with you. We hope this will become a weekly thing as we get through draft season. How are you doing? How was the week? And thank you for joining us, brother.
I'm good, man. I appreciate you guys for having me. I felt like that freaking Squidward meme every time I see the set when we're at Combine together and seeing you guys have fun outside while I'm inside watching you guys. So it's a pleasure being here, man. I appreciate it.
I just told the story of you at the Combine coming up to me and talking to me, and I just have so much respect for your moxie. So I'm excited to see what you have. It feels like you're very well prepared. I think the world should hear it. So I think a good thing for us to kind of dive into are what are 3 things that happened this week that you think actually affect draft night that's coming April 23rd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jordan?
Yeah, Pat. Well, the first one is Ruben Bain, the Miami defensive lineman at Miami Pro Day. There was a flock of teams. All 32 teams were down there. Everybody was in Coral Gables. He only did positional drills, which isn't a big deal to me, but athletic testing is something that is a huge debate in draft rooms and among draft media as well. But this player is such a clean evaluation to me, Pat. Like, we've seen this dude dominate down the backstretch. He was phenomenal in the college football playoff, and I get it. He has short arms, but the way that he was able to go out and dominate the way that he did during the backstretch of the season, me personally, I think he's the best edge rusher in the draft. Yes, ahead of Arvell Reese, who I have as an off-ball linebacker, and I have him ahead of David Bailey as well. I think that much of Ruben Bain. And, you know, if I'm the Jets at 2, I think it's a serious consideration that you do take him at 2. Now, I don't think they're going to do that, but if I was in a draft room, he would be one player I would stand on the table for. I feel that good about Ruben Bain despite the short arms. And the second one for me is Ty Simpson. I know Dio, set the Twitter machine ablaze, saying that Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in this year's draft, but he's going to be a bit of a polarizing prospect in this year's draft class. And I have a list for you. So these are the quarterbacks with 15 or less college starts to go inside of the top 16 picks. It's Akili Smith, Mitchell Trubisky, Cam Newton, Anthony Richardson, and Dwayne Haskins. So if you're taking Ty Simpson at number 16 overall with the New York Jets, this is something that you're betting on him being a huge outlier. And I just don't see Ty Simpson being that first-round quarterback. I feel more comfortable taking him in the second round. But, of course, the quality of this year's quarterback class is not great, as you guys know, and teams salivate over these quarterbacks. So the Jets is 16. I just think it's a huge risk if you take this guy at number 16 overall. And then my last one would be Arvell Reese, Ohio State, man. I mean, this dude was everything that you want at the position this past season at Ohio State. There's some debates on if he's going to be an edge rusher, if he's an off-ball linebacker. I feel more comfortable with him as an off-ball linebacker just because I've seen him do it. I think he's a little bit raw as an edge rusher, but you see the flashes of him and what he can do. And I think Patricia did a hell of a job this year interchanging him a bit in that off-ball linebacker spot and the edge rusher spot. So it's just a matter of comfort where you want to play him. I just feel more comfortable with this projection as an off-ball linebacker.
Hey, Jordan, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this, brother?
8 years, man. 8 years.
You love the scouting, you like the film. What is your favorite part of it?
Both, man. I mean, I'm one of those media guys that actually travels the country during the year. So I actually go to these games and seeing these players up close and just the whole draft process and the evaluation process as a whole. I kind of compare it to like buying a car, Pat, and you can watch the film, you can watch these guys online. A car may look great online, right? But when you go actually to the dealership, when I do go to these games, that's where you get to test drive the car. You get to see what's underneath the hood, what's making these guys tick. So I love the draft, man. And, you know, this is something that I've done for 8 years. I feel very confident in my evaluations, but I'm thankful for where I am. And how far my trajectory has come so far, but I'm thankful for everything.
Hell yeah, and keep going, brother. Sounds like your work ethic is phenomenal. Let's talk about a couple of the 3 takeaways that you had. Ruben Bain, you talk about going under the hood. He's beloved, obviously, down there in Coral Gables. He was taking over games whenever there was other teams talking shit. We obviously only got a chance to see him live a few times through the playoffs, but Texas A&M, there was a lot to be made about him and the left tackle. And then that weather called for a fist fight because of how windy it was. It was like 50-mile-an-hour winds, it felt. It was insane. Offense was going to be very limited, but there was going to be a dogfight in the trenches. He took that game over. He took that game over. Their defense took the game over. He was everywhere throughout the entirety of the playoffs. What do you like about the human that makes you think that maybe he goes as high as 2? You said you don't think the Jets will do that, but if you were in there, you would certainly talk about that. What do you think about the human that projects for long-term success in the NFL as well? And is that what these teams are looking for in your eyes?
Well, Pat, look who's coaching them. I mean, it doesn't get any better than Hall of Famer Jason Taylor. Just listen to Jason Taylor talk about Ruben Bain and how far he has come. And he had some injuries prior to this season, but this year, this was a big year for him. But if you just sit down and listen to Jason Taylor talk about this guy, he just raves about him. And it's not just the person, as you mentioned, but just how far he has come as a player. And you can turn on the tape in any game this year, whether it's Notre Dame, Ohio State, Indiana. He's dominating. He's continued to check the boxes in all those games. And yes, I keep saying the short arms. I get it. I get he's going to be a historical outlier. But pound for pound, when we're putting his tape against any other edge rusher in this draft, it's the most impressive to me. I mean, this dude has the hand strength of a heavyweight boxer. He's just jacking the crap out of all these offensive tackles. He's an NFL-ready run defender. And as a pass rusher, I think he's going to be fine rushing off of the edge. But what I love about him the most is that he's so versatile. You can kick him inside and sub package. You can play him outside, 5 technique, 7 technique, whatever you want to play him. He's just so versatile. I compared him to Brandon Graham. That's who it reminds me of. And we're talking about somebody that closed out a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, which is what he did when the Eagles won that first Super Bowl. So I think he's very comparable to Brandon Graham, who went on to have a terrific career.
Modern NFL success comes from having 4 first-round D linemen. And every time we watch Bain work out, especially this past week at the Pro Day, he looks like a monster. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see what the NFL can continue to become with these guys. You mentioned another man in there from the Ohio State. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, obviously Pat's talking about Arvell Reese. We know what he is physically and what he did this year, his production on the field. I guess, are you hearing from teams how they want to use him? As you have him listed as an off-the-ball linebacker, he can play edge as well. Are you getting any inclination that teams want to use him as an edge rusher?
It's a mixture. Honestly, AJ, it just depends on who you talk to within the league. But if you're taking somebody that high in the draft, obviously you want them to play edge rusher just because of the financial ramifications of it. You're not just going to take an off-ball linebacker that high in the draft. But with Arvell, I think he's a guy that you can interchange. And everybody's talked about the Micah Parsons comparison. I think Micah was a little bit further along in this point in his career as an edge rusher, but that's eventually who you want Arvell to be. And if I'm going to take him at number 2 overall, like the Jets are predicted to do right now, I think that is great bang for your buck. But I think he would be a great foundational piece for the Jets if they do end up taking him at number 2 overall. I mean, this dude has explosive traits, whether it's off ball or off of the edge. He has very rare power as a run defender as well. And I think he's just scratching the surface of what he can be.
I can't wait to see how it all shakes out. 2 now, could be 10. Yeah. Somebody else could be 2. Quarterback could go 2. Oh, yeah. You have no idea. Trades could happen to get another quarterback. Who's the third quarterback? You mentioned Ty Simpson. We like Ty Simpson as well. We think Fernando obviously has earned the right to be QB1 of this particular draft class. It sounds like the Raiders feel that way as well. But we like Ty Simpson. Who's the third quarterback? Do we know who the third quarterback is in this particular draft, Jordan?
That's a great question, Pat. Like, there's such a huge split in the league right now. If I had to guess, it's between Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier, who are 2 polar opposites as quarterbacks. One is a big 6'5", prototypical pocket passer. Nussmeier is a little bit more undersized at about 6'2", about 205 pounds. But I personally like Nussmeier better just because of what he brings from an in-the-pocket standpoint and the daredevil mentality that he plays. And I just think he's shown better throws on tape than what Carson Beck has done. Now, Carson Beck is going to be a great floor setter as far as what he can come in and do. But I think Garrett Nussmeier just has a lot of those traits of those undersized quarterbacks that we've seen go on to have a very successful career. And then, I mean, Nuss has made, going back to that 2024 season, Nuss was a damn good player, man. Like, we were talking about him potentially going inside of the top 10 or so picks. Obviously, the injuries and things happened at LSU to deter from that. But I'm a believer in Nuss in the mid-rounds.
All right, and there's one quarterback you didn't mention. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Mark Gronowski. You know, we pull up his pro day, you know, measurables and whatnot from his raw athletic score at Iowa's pro
What was
day,
it?
off the charts. You know, so
100.
that a lot of people are saying like, well, I don't know because this guy could be starting tight end day one for someone.
Gronowski?
Exactly. So, what about Mark Gronowski? Basically, just tell me, is he going to get drafted or not?
Potentially. I thought he did really well down at the Shrine Bowl down in Texas. I thought he was one of the better throwers down there. And I mean, he showed some great things at Iowa. And we know their quarterbacks haven't been known for throwing the football, but he was physically one of the more talented players that they have had in the position over the past few years. But I think he has a chance to be one of those late round guys. I like him. I like Luke Altmaier from Illinois, Cole Payton, who will probably go much earlier than those guys. But there's a lot of names in that late round mix. But Altmaier and Gronowski are two players that I like in those late rounds.
You're the man, Jordan. We're going to see you again through this draft season, if that's okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me, Pat.
What are you doing draft night? We have our draft spectacular. Are you working draft night?
Yes, so I help with ESPN Radio all 3 days of the draft. Excuse me. That's what I normally do.
Where will you be? Will you be in the back in the green room, or where will you be?
We usually have a set that's opposite of the green room, so we'll have like a building directly beside it. So I'll be around.
Should put him in the green.
Get him in the green rooms.
Mm-hmm. Jordan in the green room. We'll see how next week goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're awesome, man. You knew your shit.
I appreciate you guys.
Did you heard him kick him down inside and an outside 5-7 technique? Fucking he rattled off.
Yep. Likes Gronowski, so I know he knows ball.
Yeah, like him at Shrine Bowl. He had
Yep,
boots
exactly.
on the ground, traveled around the country, watched these players,
Mhm.
checking under the hood with these motherfuckers tick. I like that.
Yep.
Jordan, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go. How old are you?
I am 34 years old.
Let's go. Let's go. Run now. Let's go. We're thankful you're joining us.
I appreciate you guys, man. It's a pleasure.
You're the man.
Big fan of the show.
Come on. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Reed.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, all right. Let's have him be. Let's do the whole draft season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Then he would have to be at the draft, though. Spectacular. Are we doing that?
You tell me.
I saw a report that we were.
I heard that there's going to be way too many people in Pittsburgh, and they might just cancel everything.
I'm hearing from people in Pittsburgh that are saying, can we fucking not have the draft, maybe? They're sending out reports.
Set up blockades.
What streets are shut down? It's like, okay, yeah, we got a lot of streets anyways. Pittsburgh, yeah, we got a lot of streets. So just shutting them all down is certainly a good way. You know, because the way the fucking city, we're in hills and then water, obviously. So getting in and out of it is, that's fucking one way in and fucking one way out. Everybody is trying to get in there. And then once you get down in there, there's obviously, it's full chaos. I mean, the topography, is that what it's called, I guess?
Yeah, there was a report, too, that Pittsburgh public schools in the city limits, I think, are moving to remote learning for those 3 days because of the logistical nightmare of getting kids into and out of there over with, what are they expecting, 700,000 people? I've heard that number thrown out. People were all mad about it. It's like, it's going to be hard to get around.
Yeah, it's going to be, Pittsburgh's going to be really, I think what people should expect is you should not try to be in a car when you're there. Yeah. It's around the area. Now, there's a hell of a walk if you're in a couple of different places to get to a lot of different spots. So you're signing up for that too. Because remember, you got haulers and shit that you got to get down around and another thing. And I've made these yes. I've made these drunk walks from one part of city to other part of city when, there isn't just an Uber available on your phone, But I think if you get down into the area, okay, North Shore, there, casino is very close. I'm not going.
Not a chance in hell.
I am.
You should not go in there.
I thought you said it's a good one.
Nobody wins coming out
That
there.
sucks.
You say you always have to go, and you got to give your donation to ensure that you're going to have a good week.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And that's how I've had to frame it, because I've never won.
You grew up and you don't have to do that.
But I don't live there now, so I do feel obligated to be like, hey, thank you. It's an honor to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is paying tides a little bit to the local casino. Because there's no smiles coming out of that place.
No.
A lot of smiles going in. Then it's all sucked out. And they're bummed out.
Like a rub and tug.
What's that? Like the experience is like
yeah.
I think people smile on the way out of there.
I think those are going. I think there's a lot of situations around those. I think people need to be careful. I think a lot of people aren't as careful as they need to be.
Probably right.
That's a crazy story anytime it comes up.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story anytime. Crazy. And on that note, Let's have the greatest weekend of all
Hell yeah.
Be safe out there. Be smart out there. Come to the draft in Pittsburgh. It'll be fun. The Yinzers are going to be super pumped.
I bet.
Yeah, head down.
What's wrong, Tone?
I think it's going to be 98% Yinzers down there.
I think so, too. I think getting there, though, is going to be a lot of...
Oh,
this was fucking genius.
Oh, it's going to be
so much of that.
The absolute worst.
Yeah. So much of that. People parking cars, I assume, and walking. I assume you're going to see a lot of cars just kind of fucking...
Left. Where?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how this is going to go for everybody back there. But I do know it's going to be an incredible celebration of ball.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hopefully going to be a part of control. We are, I think. We'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be there for sure. Have that event on Wednesday night, AJ.
Yeah, Shefty's going to be there.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've talked to said, feels like Schefter told you to go fuck yourself on that Wednesday thing.
No, he's going to try.
Yeah, I want to show it for my friend.
So he'll definitely get there.
Yeah. Hey!
Let's take a photo.
Photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, thank you. It's good. What you got here? All right, so he can fucking take it.
That's it.
That's it right
That's it in a nutshell.
And then the other one's coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, it's showing. Sweet. Are you fucking trading? Because I think they're a willing trade participant. Yeah. If you talk to them, if you talk loud right now, you'll get from one of my phones to my other phone. This is fun. What is this called? A pizza?
Cool.
Yeah, I think they'll fucking do it. I think they'll do it. You'll do it, right? Yes, you will. They'll trade you right now, yeah. Okay, remember, tell Roger I didn't do this. Yep. Hey, you two are talking to each other right now. All right, see ya. All right, I'm going to get out of here. We got big...
Thanks for having me.
Schefter. Hey, thanks for coming, dude. That's what these insiders' lives are like.
Oh, yeah.
We've been around Rap Sheet before. Rap Sheet shows up. Hey, guys, how we doing? Where's the booze?
Yeah, he
right
plays
here.
a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
Have a conversation. But then he'll get, if he opens his phone, trapped.
Night end.
See ya. Phew, it's over. That's how these insiders live. And we appreciate their dedication to put that tweet up before the others. Because when we see the first tweet, we never go off the second or third tweet.
No.
Never. When we see the first tweet, which is how the world knows, we think to ourselves, thank you for your commitment to ball, for fucking not sleeping and not having a social life at all and just answering text messages and floating shallow conversations with so many people all the time. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's so funny. How's the family?
Yeah, good.
What do you got for me?
Oh, new building. That's fun. Look at this photo. Fun stuff. And then he's on Grok. I need a graphic for...
There's no real off time. There's no like time where he could just be like, okay, I'm good to go. Nothing can happen.
That's why when Woj retired, they all acted like...
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, because they were like, you don't know what this guy's life has been like. He has hated every moment of it all. Taking a shower? Think about taking a shower and having to put your phone on the outside of the shower. And you got to stay down there so that the steam doesn't block the phone so you could get... And you're like, oh, shit, Luke is getting traded from the Dallas Mavericks. That's what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what life is as an insider.
Yeah.
Thank God that's not what we do. But thank God they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Need him.
It's a great weekend.
Forever and always.
Happy Sweet 16, AJ.
What do you mean? Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Jeez.
It's not your birthday, dude.
What happened in that?
I'm just locked in. We got
bag?
Reds. Reds are taking on the Red Sox again on Saturday, so we're going to rebound.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, bitch.
Then we got another 160. Talks table, great work this week.
Hey, you too, man.
Thank you guys for doing what you did for the Stone.
Continue to do for the
sometimes
Stone.
you just got to skip the Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was a good little moment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Passing over the Stone.
We're going to be skipping Stone in seconds here.
Yeah, you are. Certainly are. Depending on how long this takes. I'm going to be doing it as well. Coming right here out of the pocket.
Yep.
Out of the pocket.
Skip
I'd like to say both halves of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys, good work this week.
Good work, boys.
You too.
And Hammer Dahn as a whole. Hammer Dahn is currently undergoing a full remodel.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Bit of a facelift.
I don't know if you thank God or not. We actually had a conversation about that out here, about how you guys would feel about the entire office watching the entirety of Hammer Dahn.
Oh, I hate it more than
That's what we're
anything in the
doing. We're watching the entirety of it.
Audio on.
Nothing.
Live through the whole Thunderdome. We have been doing that for the last couple of years, but now it's full focus, full attention.
Yeah.
Because we're all looking for winners.
Yeah. Trying to find the crown.
Find the crown.
Thank you guys for trying
Thank
to
you.
spread the crown.
Judge Homer.
Foxy, what a week out of you. Way to go.
Good work, boys. Great week.
Bruce Brown, great work.
Good work, Bruce.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
You nailed something today. We broke some news you didn't know.
Yep.
But other than that, you crushed it. Especially the Paul Skeens updates while Schefter's giving me a real answer.
That was good.
Drop it in my right ear. Skeens is getting fucking shelled right now. Then on the little monitor right here, I just got Skeens going with a baseball going over his head.
Yeah, O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, turns out he wasn't. He's kind of just giving up routine pop flies, and his center fielder doesn't know what the fuck's going on out there. He didn't.
You talking about O'Neal Cruz?
Yeah.
Huge bounce back.
And Paul.
Oh, no, Cruz is about to hit some dongs.
It's going to be, oh, yeah, Cruz.
I think I'm putting entire deposits down on O'Neal Cruz.
Do it right now. Let's do it now.
He hasn't played tomorrow, so you don't have to do it.
Right now, it'd be $0 in it.
No, but do the deposit now and then put it on.
I'm logging in there right now. There's a fucking video showing for me. I know it.
No doubt about it.
Thank you, Bruce. So I'm going to take a break for a little bit. The video got me.
Yep.
Are you sure? That's basically what it says. Hey, look at me. That's what the video says. You need to fucking think about this.
I want to run it back.
Would
Would
you-
Hawks tomorrow though?
Would you like to expel yourself from this app for 10 years that you can't get back in? Hit this button right here. And you just think to yourself, there's no way I can commit to anything for 10 years.
It's a long time.
But then I start going through the minus 1,100 loss. And
I don't know. You
everything.
can
I'm
commit
like,
to-
you know what? May fucking
You can commit to some things for 10 years.
yeah, like my daughter and my family and
Sure.
Tony's talking about something else.
What could that be?
we'll find out later date.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Turns out I will be able to. Nick Gumpy, great work, boys.
Good work, boys.
Zeke, Tim, good work, boys.
Good work, boys.
Graphic design, boys.
Good work, boys.
Otter guy hit some bets for us.
Yeah, he did.
Need him to bring it home today. St.
the
John's. Come on, Johnny's.
That's not a bad little run right there.
Wow.
I mean,
Jay's and Johnny's left.
Pirates money line.
You play football and basketball at Stanford?
Yes.
Yeah, and swimming and polo.
And volleyball.
Little lax for a second.
Yeah. So that's why they call him Stanford Steve, because he did all of it.
He's actually Stanford's all-time home run leader as well.
I think he coded Snapchat. Is that what it was?
That was
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, for that guy.
Yeah.
Jay for Steve.
Great work, AJ. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Shout out to all you guys, honestly, for allowing us to do this for a living. It's outrageous. It is stupid. We're very thankful every day we wake up. We talk about it at least 5 times a day, how stupid this life is, and how grateful we are that we get to do it. But that does not mean that we don't take it serious, as if we shouldn't try to contribute to society. We do, genuinely. Try our best to be good for society, and most importantly, for the good of sport. We'll be back on Monday, live from the owners' meetings, with a lot of guests. Now, will they be able to join us live because their fucking meetings are at the exact same times, which we did not see? This is the checkers thing.
We'll figure it out.
This is the checkers thing.
We'll figure it out.
Come out to the owners' meetings. Everybody will be here. You'll love it. It'll be great. We'll be able to get everybody on. All right. What time's your show? I think 9 to noon local. We start our meetings at 8:30 to the end at 2. All right. Okay.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll be there. We'll watch you guys meet. All right. So we'll be there. It should be a good program, we assume. And hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. The sports world is the greatest world to ever exist. And we're lucky to be a part of it. Team on me. Have the greatest weekend of your life. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.